Welcome to the Nissan Pregame Rush. Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
It's number 20 Houston at 9-2 against 7-4 Memphis. With the story of the day in college football, head coach Tom Herman of the Cougars. Earlier today, our Cole Kublik caught up with him.
Coach Herman, how have you prepared your team? Describe for me how you've prepared your team mentally for this game this week.
Well, no different. I said, basically the intensity, the passion, the level of energy that we played with last week, we have to match that this week on the road against a really good football team that's playing their senior day with an opportunity to improve their bowl positioning.
How have you addressed with your team the reports that there are multiple schools interested in your services and you might not be the head coach at Houston next year?
Honesty. Don't believe anything that you read.
Can you confirm those reports are false?
Absolutely. Sure.
So how have you instructed your agent to handle your situation moving forward?
I'm not going to talk about any other job except the one I got right now and these kids.
Okay. As a former player, I've been in a situation with a coaching change. I know it can be challenging. How will you handle that with your kids today?
There's nothing to handle except beating Memphis.
Your focuses lie strictly with beating Memphis today?
100%.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
This has been the Nissan Pregame Rush as Memphis and Houston meet for the 25th time. Memphis won the toss. The Tigers have elected to receive. We'll see if that distraction is an issue for the Houston team today, coming off one of the two biggest wins of the season Thursday night against Louisville. Tony Pollard, always dangerous, back to receive this kick, and he takes it at the 10. Pollard has it past the 20, pops his own man, and out to the 25. One concern for Memphis coming into this game, the health of their junior quarterback, Riley Ferguson. He'll get the start for the Tigers.
Yeah, he is a terrific passer who can make every single throw necessary. He's a student of the game, really studies. He's well-traveled, started his career at Tennessee, bounced around a little bit, was out of football for a year, but made his way to Memphis, and he has been terrific this season. 24 touchdown passes to just 9 interceptions. Terrific athlete.
Last time out against Cincinnati, he left after the second series after taking a hard hit, but we've been told that he practiced all week for this Memphis team. And he wants to throw it on first down to Anthony Miller, the school's all-time leader in receiving yards. Miller takes it for 7. He broke Isaac Bruce's school record. You expect Memphis to put the ball in the air a lot, 25th in the country in passing.
Yeah, don't blink. Both these teams want to go fast, and Miller's the focal point. Team's MVP on offense this year.
This is a dangerous Houston defense as Daniel Montiel goes in motion from his tight end spot. Ferguson throws on the run, man wide open. This is Phil Mayhew, and Memphis strikes quick. A 67-yard touchdown. Ferguson, a wizard in this Memphis offense.
Yeah, it's the play fake, Tom, that does it. It sucks the corner, and it allowed Mayhew, who has some speed, he's got terrific hands. You throw it in his area, the 6'3", 210 frame, but speed to go with it. You're going to get the corner peeking at the top. That allows Mayhew to fake the block and then go up top. I mean, it was brilliantly drawn up.
Jake Elliott on to attempt the extra point. He's perfect for his career, and his 193rd is true. Well, that didn't take long, did it? Riley Ferguson with his 25th touchdown pass of the season, and Mayhew extends his streak. That's now 27 consecutive games with a catch.
Yeah, watch the play fake that happens right here with Ferguson in the back, but then you're going to get the double move. It sucks the corner up. Watch the play fake. He comes up on the RPO to the outside receiver. That left Mayhew wide open. Jeremy Winchester, the young corner for the Cougars, gets fooled.
Winchester out there at corner with Brandon Wilson playing nickelback today for Houston. The Cougars and their defensive coordinator Todd Orlando figure to play a lot of nickel and have an extra defensive back on the field today.
I'll tell you, just the start you don't want to have. All the things floating around the program. And then you give up a monster to start the game.
Got to be a lot going through Tom Herman's mind today. and over the last week, really.
I just don't know how, Tom, you can keep it from kids. Smartphones, internet, all the things that the technology you have. Kids are reading it every single day.
No return for Brandon Wilson. What Tom Herman has is a tough-minded athletic quarterback in Greg Ward Jr., the senior from Tyler, Texas.
Yeah, he's not going to allow this team to fold a tent. Talented youngster. He's added about 15 pounds since last year's bowl game. A little more durable, has played all season through injuries. Ankle, shoulder, elbow, all of it. Just a tough competitor.
Fifth in school history in passing touchdowns, second in rushing touchdowns. Ward had a magical season last year and back at it, battling through injuries to both his ankle and his shoulder this season. Out of the shotgun, they'll run it on first down. This is Duke Catalan who breaks free, and Catalan able to take it for 9 on first down.
Yeah, he's an excellent career runner with the ball in his hands. Fantastic receiver out of the backfield as well. Comes into the game with 33 receptions. He can do it all.
Had a great game against Louisville, and he's versatile, as you mentioned. They split him out wide, so a 5-wide set for Greg Ward Jr. On 2nd and 1, they work the underneath route for a first down. That's Tyler McCloskey in a gain of 7.
Yeah, just a 3-man rush for Memphis. I can't believe they're going to stay in that long and already switching it up to go to a 4-man front here.
And a pitch to Catalan. Brought down by Jannard Avery and Ty Northern, gain of 2. Is this going to be one of those games, Andre, where defense is optional?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we may be in a track meet. We're already in one, and Houston's kind of behind about 100 meters in a 400-meter race.
2nd down, 8. Ward will roll the pocket. And he fires complete, but only a gain of 2 to Isaiah Johnson.
And he was able to get the outside edge. Defensive end to that side collapses in. And that allowed Greg Ward Jr. to get to the outside edge, a nice big throwing lane. Memphis can ill afford to do that because he's so dangerous when he gets outside the pocket.
He must get outside the pocket, though. He's been sacked, or Houston quarterbacks have been sacked 27 times this season. Neither one of these offensive lines do a great job taking care of their quarterback. From the pocket, incomplete, but a flag down.
Yeah, you're going to have a pass interference call here. Just a grab, which will be an automatic first down.
Face mask, defense number 12, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Chauncey Lanier, 5th-year senior.
Yeah, right there, just grabbing the talented Stephen Dunbar in the slot.
So first down gift wrap by the penalty flag. Ward checking with the sideline. His offensive coordinator is Major Applewhite, former Texas quarterback. Memphis shows corner blitz. They back off. Ward gets a 4-man rush, forced to scramble, and it's incomplete. Right off of the numbers of his intended receiver, Lanier had the coverage that time.
Yeah, that's where if you're Stephen Dunbar, you want to keep the defender between yourself and the football, but you have to catch the ball with your hands because Lanier's closing from outside in. He's going to make a play on your body if the ball gets there. It's kind of a note for young receivers. Catch the football with your hands.
Dylan Burden, the tailback now, out of this pistol formation. Memphis brings pressure, and they collapse on Burden. A gain of 1. Jannard Avery, the junior from just down the road in Grenada, Mississippi, with a tackle alongside Donald Penning.
Yeah, they felt like when you have nothing on first down, you're going to get a lot of twist, a lot of bending inside, playing run on 2nd down and long because the Cougars are off schedule.
3rd down, 8. The last 3rd down, Houston converted with the help of a penalty for Memphis. They drop 8. Ward scrambles, throws on the run, complete for a first down to the tight end Tyler McCloskey.
Boy, he's so dangerous. You play man-to-man, you run the risk of him breaking the pocket and making a play with his legs. If you play zone, he's a senior. He's seen it all. He'll pick you apart. Nice job by McCloskey to figure out his quarterback's in trouble and find a spot to get open.
Ward has started this game 3 for 4, the one incompletion, a drop. He'll ride the back and hand it off to Catalan. Forced out of bounds by Lanier, well out of bounds, and Catalan went down all the way up against the wall, deep into the Memphis bench.
Oh, what a
Still
block.
hasn't gotten up. His quarterback, Greg Ward Jr., first man over to check on him. Good to see Catalan, the Texas transfer, sophomore from Houston, back on his feet.
I'll tell you, he got a block from a receiver coming from outside in. Just stay with it. There's an edge player, and you see it right there that just frees him up, puts him one-on-one, and that's all you want in this game. Coaches work tirelessly to figure out a way to get in one-on-one situations. It's not always a receiver. It's a back on a linebacker, a back on a secondary player, the quarterback on a defensive end. But just to get yourself into that position, now it's me against you, and let's see who wins.
We're going to take a closer look at Catalan. Burden, the former walk-on, at tailback again, 2nd and 5. Ward throws, lob down the sideline. It is incomplete. Knocked away by the senior, Arthur Mollett.
Intended for the 6'2", 175-pound Keith Corbin on the outside. This is where Houston will make their living. They will throw a lot of 50-50 balls, but they have a lot of confidence in their receivers to go up and make plays. There again, one-on-one situation, me against you. And in that one, Arthur Mollett, their best cover corner, wins that battle.
10th play of the opening drive for Houston. They've already converted 2 third downs today.
He's showing a little pressure, zero coverage across the board.
Ward, incomplete. No flag, trying to find Linnell Bonner. Coverage by Jonathan Cook from his safety spot.
And it looked like Cook may have arrived a little bit early, but the officials didn't see it that way. It's a small win for the Memphis Tigers. Cougars were on a roll, but they're going to hold to a field goal attempt here.
Ty Cummings is 3 for 4 from 40 yards plus in his career, long of 47 this season. Senior from South Lake Carroll. This will be a 41-yard attempt for Cummings. Snap and hold are good. And Cummings fits it through to put Houston on the board. Is this a shootout? Sure does feel like it. Memphis scored just a couple plays in. Now Tom Herman's team answers with an 11-play scoring drive. Season finale between Houston and Memphis. These two teams played a thriller last season. Cougars came from behind to win it in the 4th quarter, and after Memphis struck first in quick fashion, Houston able to answer with a long drive to put a field goal on the board. Opportunity for another return from the 6. This is Tony Pollard. He's got one kickoff return for a touchdown this season, and he gets popped after the 27-yard line. The question today coming in, how would the Houston players respond to these coaching rumors swirling around? For more on that, let's take you down to the field and Cole Kublik.
Tom, I like what I saw from the Houston bench. They came out, a lot of juice, seemed to have some energy flying around to the football. Watching the Houston offensive line, a lot of different looks. 1, 2, 3 down defensive linemen. Blitzes coming from both sides. Thought they handled it fairly well. So not just emotionally, but mentally checked into this game early, Tom.
And that was the question, Andre. You've seen it before. You
right.
saw it when Kevin Sumlin left for the Texas A&M job.
Yeah, it was a distraction. And as I mentioned in the open, that there are players you talk to that played on those teams or on that team that still point to it today, that it was very much a distraction for the football team.
There was a flag on the return, and it was holding on the return team. Adam Savoy, our official today, and so Memphis will have it from the 17-yard line. Riley Ferguson, their quarterback, started his career at the University of Tennessee. Redshirted a year there, then transferred after the second spring. And Anthony Miller, his favorite target, has it down the sideline for a Memphis first down. Garrett Davis forces him out of bounds, a gain of 21.
And it's just an RPO where he can either hand it off underneath, keep it inside, but there's the playmaker right there, and Anthony Miller, the school first receiver to go over 1,000 yards since Isaac Bruce. It's been a long time.
Miller's a remarkable story as they swing it out to the opposite side now, and Phil Mayhew has a touchdown today. Tyus Bowser with the stop. Miller didn't get on the field his first 2 years. Now he's turned into one of the best receivers in the American Conference.
And he became an option last year for Paxton Lynch, but he was injured against this Cougar team. You remember, they were way up on the Cougs. He sat out with a hamstring injury.
Ferguson perfect to start this game, 4 for 4 on 2nd and 1. They hand it off, and there's a first down run for Dorland Dorcius, junior from New Orleans, by way of Spring, Texas. It's a gain of 15. Howard Wilson the tackle.
Just inside, outside, kind of tenderizing the edges before they come back with Dorcius between the tackles.
Well, this is a Houston defense which was remarkable last week against Louisville, but they have looked tender today. And now another completion to the edge, and Kadarian Jones has a first down.
And I tell you what, Memphis has stepped on the gas.
First and 10 for the Tigers. This is a Houston defense which stuffed Lamar Jackson last Thursday night. But already today, they've given up 137 yards. Ferguson with the pitch to Dorcius. Down to the 11.
Tom and Andre, you see that tempo effective for Memphis right now. They have Houston trapped in a 4-man front. Much better run look, much more options that you can have against that look. The 3-man front is where Houston does a lot of different things. Memphis has them trapped now.
Well, they haven't got any pressure on Ferguson just yet. He's been so quick getting rid of the ball, and is again here to the outside. That's complete for a first down, and all the way down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, Tom, and to Cole's point, everybody thinks, well, the hurry up is to get you tired. Well, it is, but the main thing is we've caught you in defensive personnel that we like, and now we have the advantage in what we want to run offensively if you're on that side of the ball.
Here's Dorcius. Runs into a wall and gets taken down after a gain of 1. Matthew Adams, a junior from Missouri City, Texas.
And the pace of this kind of halts Ed Oliver of being effective in this game. They're going outside edges, getting him tired, but he can't get all the way out to where the receivers are making plays for Memphis.
On 2nd and goal, they run it again. He's in. Touchdown, Dorland Dorcius. What a start for this Memphis offense. Memphis's head coach Mike Norvell, an offensive mind of his own. Kadarian Jones, 27 yards receiving on that drive. Dorland Dorcius takes it in for his 9th touchdown of the season, and Memphis says, wait a second, we're a story here today too.
College football presented by Jared the Galleria of Jewelry. In part by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition. And Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Arthur Marlette, one of 20 seniors honored here today in the home finale for this Memphis team. 7 were members of Justin Fuente's first recruiting class in 2012. They came to this program, many of them committed to a program that had only won 3 games over 2 seasons under the previous regime. Justin Fuente shows up, turns them into a fantastic program almost overnight. Now Fuente has Virginia Tech knocking on an ACC title over in Blacksburg.
And Tom, Memphis went through basically the same thing that the Cougars are going through this year with Tom Herman. Justin Fuente about week 5 really became one of the top coaches around the country for job opportunities, and he had to face it each and every week, the questions. All of a sudden, it's Tom Herman on the opposite sideline.
You know, we were here for the Mississippi game last year before Ole Miss. He just told us straight up, here's what I'm looking for in my next opportunity. Justin Fuente never hid from the fact that he was looking for another opportunity, though still giving Memphis a chance to keep him if they could come up with something. Ward swings it out to Cadlon. Past the 30. And here's the thing. In this day and age of college football, in this big business world, if you are a hotshot coach, you are sitting on a winning lottery ticket. But with those salaries come expectations, and those expectations cover everything you do in your life. Ward with an option look here. Perfect time pitch to Cadlon, and he's out of bounds after a 4-yard gain.
Well, I tell you what, well executed by Greg Ward to take it right to the face of the in-man defender in Memphis's defense. I mean, you've got to be willing to take that shot. And we know, well documented, that he's not 100% shoulder, elbow, ankle, all of it. But you see him there laying it on the line for his team in his last game in the regular season as a senior quarterback.
Tom Herman told us that Greg Ward has been playing with a slightly torn labrum for some time. That one too high. Speaking of injuries, let's check in with Cole.
Tom saw Ed Oliver Jr. head into the locker room moments ago, came back out, had a handful of energy packs, and we said he was a little gassed there in that last series. We saw the tempo affect the Houston defense. These guys are chugging Gatorade over on the sidelines. I'm checking them out right now, but something to monitor if this team may be getting a little gassed early.
So Houston defense coach is finally back to full strength last week against Louisville. They hadn't been since their season opening win against Oklahoma for a variety of reasons. Trips to the left, and Burden is the tailback. Quick hitter, and that's Linnell Bonner. This is a Houston offense with some talented receivers, Andre, but they don't really have that breakaway player on the perimeter.
No, what they do well is that if Ward breaks contain and you get pass rush, they are excellent in the scramble drill. When things are off schedule, when plays are thrown off a little bit, that's where they excel, and they're fantastic in 50-50 balls.
Yeah, they succeed in chaos.
A lot of the guys coming here. A little pressure showing up.
Here they come, both linebackers. And on the slant, that's complete for a first down to Bonner. Gain of 10.
Just the slant, you get everybody coming. It opens up a big window. If you can just hold just enough time, hold up front on the offensive line, give Greg Ward a chance to shoot it out there. He is accurate.
Memphis brings an extra man again. Ward to the outside, incomplete. Timing was off, and a big opportunity on the attempt to Johnson by Chauncey Lanier, who was right there.
He took advantage of when this new staff came in. He's been extremely consistent all year long. Two really solid corners for this Memphis defense.
Meanwhile, one of the stars on Houston's defense, Ed Oliver, trying to catch his breath.
Yeah, Oliver left the Louisville game with an ice pack. Plenty of time still on the clock. Game was still within reach for Louisville, and he was seated on that bench. You saw the knee brace when he went to the locker room.
Blitz again for Memphis. Ward to the outside. Isaiah Johnson dragged down by Jonathan Cook. Ed Oliver's one of the top recruits in Group of 5 history, not just Houston history. The freshman out of Houston's Westfield High School left that Louisville game in the fourth quarter. And we've got an injury now for Isaiah Johnson, who's slow to get to his feet.
Yeah, he's the team's fastest receiver. You talk about being able to stretch the field or the lack of. Well, that's one receiver that can get deep for the Cougs. I mentioned that he's their fastest receiver, and he could get his hands. He'll need a little work, but he's got plenty of speed to get deep. And you see him there being twisted in an awkward position.
They're looking at the right leg of Isaiah Johnson, the sophomore from Bryan, Texas.
A lot of youngsters, and a lot of them, you can stand on campus with a small rock and hit their high schools.
By the way, there's a big game in College Station, Texas last night.
Yeah, big one. And a lot of big points were scored by LSU.
And you wonder what impact that one game will have on the futures of college coaches at both spots. Ed Orgeron in the running to take over the LSU job after Les Miles was let go after 4 games this season. And, of course, Tom Herman, as we mentioned, has been linked to that opening as well. You see the knee brace on Ed Oliver, that bulky knee brace in the right knee. They told us that Oliver didn't miss a single rep in practice this week, but you get the feeling that he was at least limited in some aspects.
Yeah, when you're not 100% and you're carrying that thing around, it gets to the point where you got to get used to it. And I'm not sure he is right now. And you saw him go to the locker room, maybe some extra tape. Keep an eye on that as the game progresses.
Houston 2 of 3 on 3rd downs today. And movement on the Houston side of the ball will make it a little bit tougher.
Number 72, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Tom, these two teams, they played a common opponent in SMU. And SMU handed it to the Cougs. They dominated in the trenches, 38-16. The Mustangs win it. Memphis played the same SMU team and put 51 on them. 51-7 was the final in that one.
That was a devastating loss for the Cougars after they had already dropped a tough one on the road in Annapolis for the Naval Academy. 3-man rush. Ward has all day. And it is complete for a 1st down to Linnell Bonner and a gain of 25.
Yeah, to my point, when things break down, now you're out of your route because of the timing of this pass by Greg Ward. Right now, the routes have broken down. He's just buying time, trying to find them, and no one does it better than Bonner, number 15.
It puts a lot of pressure on your secondary. Option look again. Catalan stays in bounds and tiptoes up the sideline, and we'll see where they mark him out all the way down inside or right at the 10. It's a gain of 14.
And you got a Memphis defender down right around the 28-yard line.
Donald Pennington, who had started his 25th consecutive game, is down. They're already without Jared Gentry at that nose tackle position.
And he's a 2-year starter who's really tough to block inside. Plays through double teams very, very well for this Memphis front. That's an encouraging sign to see him get up on his own, reaching for that left ankle.
It's rivalry weekend, and Saturday at noon Eastern on ABC we'll have the 113th playing of the game when number 3 Michigan takes on number 2 Ohio State from the Horseshoe in Columbus. This game's also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
There's another connection. Tom Herman, Urban Meyer was the offensive coordinator at Ohio State when they won the national championship 2 years ago.
Herman said Urban does a better job than anybody at acknowledging how big a game is. He said he doesn't shy away from it. He lets his guys know this is the big game to win. Some coaches, he say, try to hide it, but Urban acknowledges the elephant in the room. 1st and goal from the 10. Ward, end zone, off the hand of Stephen Dunbar and incomplete.
Yeah, just one you got to throw a little bit better. I think that's where Greg Ward has struggled with the injuries to the shoulder. You see the release, nice release there, faking the block. It allows him to come free, but when he has to touch, it's the touch passes. You just ask him to rip one, he can do it, but when it's touch that he has to have, it's a little bit high, and he's shown that here in the 1st quarter.
Slightly torn labrum and an ankle that was tweaked against Tulsa, then a shoulder he fell on again against Tulane. Catalan cuts back, great vision. He's in for Houston's 1st touchdown. Two long scoring drives for these Houston Cougars.
Nice job by the left guard, Mason Denley, to get up. He seals it off, and that allows Catalan to get his momentum. Once you get those shoulder pads pointed towards the end zone, tough to bring him down.
4th rushing touchdown of the season for Duke Catalan.
The story with Denley is he moved over from the defensive line last year. Still learning the position.
Ty Cummings for the point after. An 11-play, 75-yard scoring drive for Houston after an 11-play drive to get a field goal on their first possession. Duke Cadlon following that offensive line, the Cougs' first touchdown. 14-10, Memphis on top of Houston in our AT&T Inside Access. Coach Mike Norvell breaks the rock after the big win over SMU.
We prepared, we believed in each other, and then we went and got it done. Right? Damn right. Hey, and guess what? We going bowling!
It's a tradition that Mike Norvell brought with him to Memphis to break the rock after big wins, and usually it's a player that they choose to do so. We asked him why he was chosen to do it against SMU, and he said that was one of the most emotional points of the season, that the players would trust me enough to put me in charge to have that honor, going bowling again, and in his first season as the Memphis head coach. Not a good kick from Houston. It'll go out of bounds, and it will give Memphis better field position.
And that's one of the things that when you become a new head coach at a program or of a program,
kicking team, ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
It's tough. It's the upperclassmen that you really have to win over, the juniors and the seniors. And he's come in and done a nice job of that. Put some wins together. And it's a talented football team we're actually seeing right now.
Now, one of the first things he did when he took the job is come out to watch bowl practices. His Memphis team was going bowling last season, and he watched the quarterback position, and he realized that they needed more competition at that position. He said, I had 8 or 9 visits lined up to go see some transfers, some junior college guys. He said, I saw Riley Ferguson coming from Coffeyville Community College in Kansas. He said, I canceled the rest of my visits. After visiting with this young man, I knew he was the right guy, and he starts a perfect 5 for 5. Riley Ferguson, coming out of Matthews, North Carolina, originally went to Tennessee after suffering an injury at Tennessee and taking a redshirt year. Then Butch Jones signed this kid Josh Dobbs. You may have heard of him. He said, that really hurt my feelings. I thought I was the quarterback of the future. They bring Dobbs in. Ferguson leaves. He ended up working for a fence company outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Here's a reverse into a flea flicker and the ball on the ground. And disaster for Memphis, going the wrong way. And they're going to be lined up for third and forever after a loss of 12.
A lot of pressure from this Cougar defense. And when you get in any kind of long situation, look for Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator, to dial up pressure. If it's second and more than 7, they're going to bring it. If it's third down and long, they're going to bring it. Here, they may not, because it's third and Memphis to pick it up. You're just going to play safe, keep the ball in front of you, and make a tackle and force a punt.
Third in the pyramid. Here's Darrell Henderson with his first carry, and he rips off a big one.
Oh, boy.
Wow. He takes it all the way to the line to gain a 23.
Yeah, that's the risk you run when you go into some type of preventive measure where you just want to keep things in front of you. Well, through the middle, it opens up a lot of room in which to run the draw or a screen pass. They take a look at this spot.
Field as the runner made the line to gain. Previous play is under further review.
Take a look at the spot here. And what a job by Dorcius, by Henderson to get close to the first down.
Roy Reynolds, our American replay official. Wayne Pollard in the booth with him.
Right about the 45, which I think still would just about give him the first down.
Yeah, needed to be at the 45 for the first down. I don't know. I kind of see the way he's cradling that ball. Well, ball seemed to be, when the elbow came down, just short of that 45-yard line.
Well, it's that running back drill. Watch when his hand comes down to keep him from actually falling short, and then the knee right there as he's extending the football. I think this one's going to be hard to overturn. I think the call on the field will stand.
Well, if it is short, just entertain me here for a minute. If it is short and you've got 1 yard to gain, you've got momentum. This is a Memphis team which is playing with a lot of confidence right now. Do you keep your offense?
I know where you're going. What play would I run? We've been together for a couple of years now. What play would I run in this situation?
You want to go deep.
First of all, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go for it. I'm always thinking deep, but in short yardage situations, I'm going to take the quarterback sneak right here. Big, strong quarterback like Riley Ferguson, 6'4", 210. I'm going to roll the dice, go for it here, keep the momentum, get under center, though, and do it. No shotgun.
Now remember, the call on the field was that he did gain the 45-yard line, which would be a first down. If they reverse that, he's going to be looking at 4th and less than 1. And that ball just, I think it's just short of that 45-yard line. So you like Ferguson on a sneak if they do indeed reverse this call?
Yeah, I really do. I like him on a quarterback sneak. He's got a sophomore inside, and Drew Kaiser, who was one of the best that we've watched this year operate at center.
It's the Houston defense, second in the nation against the
After
run.
review, the runner was short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th down and 1 foot to go.
So obviously, with this play being reviewed and reversed, now 4th and 1. If you do go for it and don't get it, you're giving Houston great field position.
Well, they're in a quick snap here. They're going to get to the line of scrimmage, try to catch Houston standing up. I'm shocked that he's going to the shotgun to go for it here.
Ed Oliver, one of the most talented nose guards in the game, right above the football and over the center, Drew Kaiser. Houston shows pressure. They're going to try to run it with Ferguson. Run pass option, and he's got his man Henderson. Wow, a gutsy play, a first down and more, and a gain of 18.
What patience on the part of Riley Ferguson. He didn't panic. Waited for Henderson to pop open. Watch him curl back. Now, this is improvisation right here. Henderson should have been blocking. He saw the quarterback in trouble and got open.
Ferguson, 9 for 9 to start this game. Another RPO is a big play for Memphis inside the 20-yard line, and a gain of 19 to Anthony Miller.
Boy, the speed in which this offense is operating. It's blinding. 9 of 9 to start the game. Now his 10th completion. Riley Ferguson on fire for Memphis. Excuse me, still 9 of 9.
And we're not yet out of the first quarter. Ferguson has thrown for $170 and a touchdown. Henderson flanks him in the backfield. Pressure coming from the edge. Ferguson goes that way, complete. This will net a yard on forward progress. Anthony Miller, another catch. Cole?
Tom, you've mentioned RPO a few times. I spoke to Coach Norvell before the game. He said, we want to run right at this defense based on everything that they're going to give us up front. We think we can hit some big plays, but the big benefactor of that could be our run-pass option game if they adjust too quickly.
Yeah, Cole, they've basically taken the outside to open up running between the tackles. It's been the perimeter passes to get the Cougs widened out, and then they run underneath.
Play action again, tight end wide open. Complete to Joy Magnifico, his first catch, and he's inside the 5, all the way down inside the 3, and a gain of 12. Everybody getting in on the fun for the Tigers.
Well, you read and you watch the film on Riley Ferguson. He's so accurate with the football, both in the pocket and on the move, and it is on display right now.
First and goal, Memphis. Henderson into a pile of bodies, maybe picked up 1. Nick Thurman in on the tackle for the Cougars.
We had a chance to talk to Chip Long, and he said that's where we have made the most improvement up front. Really solidified the offensive line with Gabe Kuhn, Drew Kaiser at center, and Dustin Woodard, the left guard. So the interior part of this Memphis offensive line has really sparked their success this year.
Magnifico at fullback as Memphis goes to the I formation for the first time. Play action. Ferguson has it batted away. Garrett Davis was right there, caromed all the way to the back of the end zone, and now 3rd and goal.
Now, if you're the Cougars, you're just trying to hold for a field goal attempt here. You're taking a couple of shots, and you're just trying to stay up to force a field goal attempt. Well, Jake Elliott was just about as good as they get.
Pollard and Henderson in the backfield with Ferguson. Ferguson looks end zone, fires, complete, touchdown Tigers on another quick hitter. Phil Mayhew with his 2nd touchdown catch of the day.
Well, you talk about a quick release. When you get down inside the red zone, Decisions have to be made quickly, and as a quarterback, you got to get the ball out quickly. Look at that dart that Riley Ferguson throws inside. Just a little sit down because of zone coverage. We saw the Cougars bounce rather than follow in man-to-man, and he knew it right away that the receiver would be sitting right there.
It is a 21-point first quarter for Memphis behind quarterback Riley Ferguson, who has begun this game 12 of 13 against Tom Herman's squad. The Memphis Tigers on senior day with a breakout opening frame. All right, thanks. So North Carolina is certainly a story when it comes to coaching carousel and Larry Fedora. Possibility being named out there for multiple openings. Maybe he's plan C or D down at LSU.
You never know how this game's being played. You know, universities could leak certain things, and they have a candidate that they have their eyes on to make that one make a decision. Who knows if there's a deal in place with Tom Herman at LSU or not.
Well, Cole approached Hunter Yurachek, the Houston athletic director, today. He offered no comment today, but he did send out this statement yesterday. I have not been informed by Tom or his agent that they are in conversations with LSU. We are in Memphis together preparing for a game. This was last night when the news started to break by Chris Lowe from ESPN and a couple other sources that LSU was preparing an offer for Tom Herman.
Well, and if that's the case, then I hope he's got a list in which to go down in terms of the next University of Houston head coach, just in case.
Well, it leads me to this question. As Greg Ward takes a shotgun snap and hands off to Cadlon, he's swarmed after a gain of 1. Tom Herman has been a hot name for coaching vacancies dating back to last season when South Carolina was hard after him.
Right.
But he has been both hot and cold. That interest has ebbed and flowed, especially after losses earlier this season to both Navy and SMU. So what happens today if this score holds or Memphis puts it on Houston? Do those big money boosters think twice about spending big money for Tom Herman, whether that's LSU, Texas, or another school?
I don't think so, because after the Louisville win, it kind of solidified things at the right time. Had that happened earlier, and then the Navy SMU things happen after a Louisville win, maybe.
Whoa, big-time face mask rips the helmet off of Greg Ward Jr. Ernest Suttles ripped the helmet right off of Houston's star quarterback. And you understand why Houston would take exception.
Yeah, and I don't think that was done purposely. It was a guy trying to make a play, saw that he was beaten, and just grabbed, just reached for something. It happened to be the face mask of Greg Ward. But just to put a bow on this whole coaching circus, the assistants are affected more than Tom Herman himself.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 48, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Let's take a look at this first, and I'll finish my point. Right there,
his helmet came off due to foul.
Obviously, and with the rule, because of his helmet being yanked off, he does not have to leave for a play. But the assistant coaches are affected more so than anybody else. They're trying to prepare. They don't know if they're going to have a job. They don't know if they're going with Tom Herman. Their livelihoods are at stake, so it affects preparation for the week, because you're not totally focused. You're wondering where you're going to be coaching next year.
Talked with Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator for Houston. He said, absolutely, I would love to be considered for a head coaching job in the future. And it might be a very near future for him. Or Major Applewhite, the offensive coordinator, if Herman does indeed leave Houston. See how Greg Ward, one of the toughest players in college football, responds to that play, having his helmet ripped off by the face mask. Officials want to make sure they have the spot right. Cole, what do you got?
Yeah, I want to add to what Andre was saying, Tom, with the assistant coaches and their demeanor. 1998, Terry Bowden fired halfway through the season. I'm a player on that Auburn football team. The assistant coaches, you could absolutely tell things were not the same. Didn't ask you to show up early for meetings. Didn't go meet after practice. Practices were condensed. They weren't as intense. There are a lot of times head coaches or assistant coaches become extremely paranoid when that job uncertainty lies in front of them. And a lot of times assistant coaches are not on multi-year deals, so you can understand it.
Yeah, now you got to prep for
no doubt
a big game against a team that had you on the ropes last year. Now Memphis has them on the ropes here in the first quarter this season. Officials get straightened out whatever they needed to straighten out. 1st and 10 for Greg Ward Jr. after the face mask penalty. Looking right the whole time, and it is complete on a crossing route to Linnell Bonner. Gets taken down after a gain of 7.
Well, he is really automatic. Very important to this offense is Bonner. Really understands route running, defensive coverages, where to be to help his quarterback Greg Ward out.
Ward looking for Chance Allen down the sideline. Kind of slowed on his route. Arthur Marlette, the senior, with the coverage for Memphis.
Yeah, you turn the video on, and you'll see that out of Chance Allen every once in a while. He's an outstanding player when he's in rhythm. When it takes a little longer, he'll slow it down. You just got to believe each and every time that the ball's coming your way so that doesn't happen.
Houston 3 of 4 on 3rd downs today. They were gifted another via penalty. And timeout taken by Mike Norvell and his Memphis coaching staff.
Timeout. Memphis, their first.
Get their personnel
30 seconds.
situated. It's rivalry weekend, and Saturday the College Game Day crew are at the Shoe in Columbus. They'll break down the game between number 3 Michigan and 2nd-ranked Ohio State. Look at the rest of the day in college football. Coverage begins at 7 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and Watch ESPN. One of the features that will run is about the Toledo War. When it comes to having an allegiance in the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, no city is more conflicted than Toledo, Ohio, which, by the way, happens to be the birthplace of both Jim Harbaugh and Urban Meyer, born in the same hospital 7 months apart.
Wow. 3rd down here for the Cougars. You got to keep pace with his high-powered Memphis offense. They'll convert right here. Look at the pressure. It's coming.
Ward will roll, throws on the run. Beautiful completion to Linnell Bonner for the 1st down.
And that's a check by Greg Ward. Saw the pressure and then decided to adjust the offensive line, roll to his left. Not right, but left, where Bonner was lined up.
After 1 quarter of play, every team has scored on each of its possessions. Memphis with a 21-10 advantage. College football will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. All-State makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. Since 2005, All-State has donated millions in scholarship funds. 3rd drive of the game for Houston continues. Duke Catalan is the running back. Play action over the middle. Tight end McCloskey has it, and he has 6. Touchdown, Houston.
Boy, excellent job with the play fake. It holds the linebackers because you have to respect the run. And watch what it does to the defense. The linebackers, they come up. You see the false step. That allows McCloskey to get himself open behind the 2nd level of the defense. And then it just becomes a foot race. Boy, play action, devastating.
Point after is good. 21-17, our lead in this Mid-South shootout. Memphis on top of number 20, Houston. One of the loneliest men in the stadium, Houston punter Dane Roy. On the other side, Spencer Smith knows what it feels like. We haven't seen one single punt today. Both teams have scored on every possession. And Memphis will have a chance for its 4th field goal in its first 4 possessions here in a moment.
You had a group of Memphis players, skill position players, quarterbacks warming up on the sideline. That's 6 plays. Just kind of keeping themselves ready to go.
From the 5-yard line, Tony Pollard takes it out to the 27. What a start for Riley Ferguson. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns already today for this Memphis team. A guy who left the Cincinnati game last week after just 2 series of play after taking a big hit.
I'll tell you what, he's a big fella as well. Got a chance to speak with him briefly on the field. Came into college, he was a lightweight. Kind of graduated to heavyweight. About 180 pounds coming in at Tennessee. Now he's well over 210 or so pounds. Looks the part.
12-13 to start his day. Dorland Dorcius weaves his way up the middle for a gain of 3. Nick Thurman and Matthew Adams there on the stop. What are we seeing from Houston's defense today? Because this is a team that was remarkable last week against Louisville, second in the nation against the run, and held Lamar Jackson to just 1 touchdown. He came in with 46, but Riley Ferguson has been picking them apart.
Well, it's been just the outside edges where that's not one of the strong suits of this Cougar defense.
And here he is on play action over the middle, complete to Miller, who's into Houston territory. Gain of 23.
When you have a guy like Miller and Mayhew, that's where you go first. Work away at the outside edges, get the defense to spread itself out, and then you can run the football effectively. You see everybody inside, all the bodies inside. Why would you run there? And that's what I like about Chip Long and this offense of Memphis. When you study them, they go where you're not. They're not going to force it inside with all the bodies inside. Hey, we got 2 receivers that can certainly operate in one-on-one situations.
Head coach Mike Norvell knows something about offense. Longtime assistant to Todd Graham before getting this job. And out to the perimeter, they're able to find a couple to Daniel Hurd, 5th-year senior from right here in Memphis.
The funny thing about Anthony Miller, he's a former walk-on, and he can do a lot of things. Speed sweeps. They love him in the screen game. We saw that earlier. He can get deep. He's got speed to get deep. Excellent hands. All around good receiver.
One of 6 different Tigers with a reception today. Blitz coming from the left, so they go right to Tony Pollard. And Pollard tiptoes his way down the sideline. They'll mark him out at the 39. And so that's going to leave 3rd and a few.
That's what happens when you have a quarterback that knows the system so well. He can get you out of a bad play. Riley Ferguson, you mentioned it. Blitz was coming to his left. He redirects everything to the right, away from the flow of the defense.
On 3rd and 1, Dorcius seemingly was bottled up, but it pops free, and we'll see where the mark is. The near side mark looks to be better than the far side. Matthew Adams the stop.
And they're operating so fast, this Memphis offense, Tom, that it's not allowing the pressure to get there that Todd Orlando likes to play with. A lot of bodies, they'll give the look of pressure and then get out of it.
They go for it on 4th down. Dorcius has it, and he breaks through again. Dorland Dorcius through traffic, able to rip off a 10-yard run when they only needed 1.
Yeah, just right up the middle, right behind the left guard, Dustin Woodard, and the center, Drew Kaiser. They open up a nice hole for Dorcius, who is going to work.
Near pick, and that could have been a pick 6 the other way on a quick hitter to the outside. Jeremy Winchester there after the quick snap. Cole?
You mentioned, what is this Memphis offense doing to the Houston defense? I think they're finding multiple ways to stress this defense, looking to tire them out early. Not just pace and tempo, but those quick throws. You can imagine blitzing linebackers and safety who immediately have to redirect to the perimeter. It's going to gas you out quickly. I like this play call selection early.
And keep an eye up top. You got one-on-one that you want.
Safety blitz. Ferguson steps up but can't get through. He's taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Stephen Taylor from his linebacker spot with a stop.
You know, when you go through the process as a quarterback, the receivers have to be on the same page. Those routes got to speed up a little bit faster. Wanted to get rid of the football there a little bit quicker, but the receivers were still in a route that they did not detect the blitz.
Third and 10, play action again. Almost picked through the hands of Miller and then off of Howard Wilson. And for the first time today, it seems Memphis will not score a touchdown as they bring out the kicking team.
Oh, and it was there. You talk about the slant with the play action. Miller was wide open. Watch the timing. Howard Johnson's their best cover man. Usually pretty reliable in that situation. 5 interceptions on the year coming in for Howard Wilson, the sophomore out of DeSoto, Texas.
Jake Elliott on for a 40-yard attempt, the all-time leading scorer in Memphis history, better than Steven Gostkowski and D'Angelo Williams, and this one is good. So the Tigers have scored on every possession but held to a field goal for the first time today. The shootout is on in Memphis.
Jared the Galleria of Jewelry. Brought to you by Pacific Life, helping generations of families achieve long-term financial security for over 145 years. The Venture Card from Capital One. Earn unlimited double miles you can use on any airline, anytime. And Jiffy Lube. We do more than just oil changes, all in a jiffy.
Well, Beale Street was as quiet as I've ever seen it last night on Thanksgiving night, but thanks to the folks at the Peabody Hotel for hosting our crew for our Thanksgiving dinner, and thanks to everybody for being on the road during the holidays. We've got a great one today and a fun one. Buckle up. It might be a while. You could probably have a turkey sandwich, take a nap, and return, and we might be in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. Or you could just stay tuned in while you're getting that second and third helping of turkey.
Well, Memphis' offense came into today averaging nearly 39 points a game, and they are ahead of pace of that thanks to an offensive outburst. They scored a touchdown in each of their first 3 possessions. They wasted no time in getting their first on a 2-play drive and settling for a field goal last time out.
That's been a heck of a game plan put together by Chip Long to offset the pressure in which Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator for the Cougars, likes to implement. Getting the ball out quickly to playmakers in space. That's been the difference.
Gary Ward Jr., second in school history with 27 victories behind Case Keenum, and he swings it out to Linnell Bonner, and Bonner is taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Ty Northern.
Yeah, a little misread. Dunbar threw the block to push the defender outside. Catalon should have actually Bonner actually should have cut up inside.
Northern playing in place of Austin Hall, lost with a leg injury last week against Cincinnati. Ward on the run throws. It is bobbled right at the sideline, but we've got a flag down in the Houston backfield. They say it's a catch.
It's coming back for a hold.
Offense, number 52, 10-yard penalty, second down.
It's Braylon Jones, the freshman right tackle, true freshman right tackle. Smart young man. He's the valedictorian of his high school class. He really knows how to operate up front. Picked up things quickly, which gave him an opportunity to play as a true freshman.
Same high school as Greg Ward, John Tyler High School in Tyler, Texas, but a few years behind him.
And a few good football players come out of that high school.
Couple.
Tyler Rose and Earl Campbell.
Memphis show blitz for a moment. They back off. Ward setting up the tunnel screen, and that one is blown up. Chance Allen had no chance on that one. Donald Pennington blew him up behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, Pendleton was helped off the field earlier with an ankle injury, but this is a nose tackle coming all the way outside. Big run plugger, and you see the intensity in which Donald Pendleton plays with. Active player up front, and a long third down here for Greg Ward Jr. in this Cougar offense.
Third down 22. Memphis brought a zone blitz on the right side. Ward can't escape, and Houston will be forced to punt for the first time. Chris Morley forces Ward out after a gain of 2.
I'll tell you what, credit to the courage of defensive coordinator Chris Ball of Memphis. He didn't sit back in zone coverage. He wanted to force the ball out of Greg Ward's hands, brought some pressure to make sure he didn't have the time necessary for routes to develop down the field.
So here's Dane Roy, the freshman from Australia, 27-year-old true freshman. He's turned it on lately. His first punt is fielded and taken out of bounds by Anthony Miller. 40-yard punt, one on the return. Roy can say he participated today. 24-17. Up and down season for these Houston Cougars. Meanwhile, Memphis coming on strong. What do you expect from Riley Ferguson?
Well, at some point you're going to get a hitch and go, a double move, because these corners, Howard Wilson and Jeremy Winchester, he's starting to bite on the quick throws outside. That's when you start to double move guys.
They show the jet sweep play action. They set up the screen. This is Darrell Henderson. He's got breakaway speed. Henderson lost his shoe. He blew out, turns into a gain of 15, could have been so much more.
And once again, taking advantage of the aggressive nature. They turn that front loose, bringing Ed Oliver, Calvin Malvo, Cameron Malvo, all those guys coming, rushing up the field. How do you offset it? The screens or draws, and Memphis has been spot on with it.
First snap for Patrick Taylor in the backfield now for Memphis. They have spread the wealth. Play action again. Ferguson, deep ball. Too strong for Anthony Miller.
Just deciding to take a shot. They load up, protect Riley Ferguson, and wanted to go to it earlier in the drive before this one. But they got the pressure and forced Ferguson to pull it down and run. That young man right there, he's got some wheels.
Ferguson started this game by hitting each of his first 11 pass attempts. Patrick Taylor, and he pushes his way for a first down. This is a big kid, freshman from Humble, Texas, stands 6'3", 216.
Well, they really like him. He can flat out fly for a guy his size. You see him here, and this is where, if you look, you go back and watch the Navy game, it was on the ground. SMU on the ground.
2 yards on the right side for Taylor.
Give you that time for that hitch and go, Tom. You get Miller back in the game. Mayhew on the top.
Mayhew already has a 67-yard touchdown reception on the day.
They're not even needed now with a press corner at the top. Right there.
That's Mayhew. You got Miller on the near side. Second down, 8. Houston puts 8 in the box. And Taylor shoves his way to the 21, a gain of 6. Matthew Adams a stop.
Boy, we got to credit this offensive line. Christopher Roberson, the right tackle, Dave Kuhn, and Drew Kaiser just paving the way in this drive. Decided, hey, we're going to play some big boy football. Sprinkle in a pass or two, but we'll run the ball here, and we got them winded. Let's go at them.
Third down, 2. Slant. What a grab for a first down by Phil Mayhew. 6'3" junior used his entire frame for a gain of 9.
And Stephen Taylor, who's a playmaker on this Cougar defense, was there to make a play. Dropped right into the area inside for a linebacker.
Again outside to Anthony Miller. And Miller gets wrestled to the ground by Brandon Wilson. Is there any time where tempo would work against Memphis?
Not so far. I mean, it's been spot on. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not allowing this Cougar front 7 to get to the quarterback.
Another slant, that one through the hands of Miller.
Let's go back 2 plays ago on that slant to Mayhew and an outstanding catch. But you'll see 41, Stephen Taylor, right in the throwing lane. And that's throwing a guy open high away from the defender and letting Mayhew go up and make a nice grab. Taylor's got an interception on the season. He does everything for this Cougar defense. Times blitzes perfectly. There was in position to make a play and just couldn't make it.
Taylor had 14 tackles last week against Louisville and on 2.5 sacks. And Houston uses its first timeout with 7:21 to go in the second quarter. Memphis looking at a 17, trying to hand the Cougars their 3rd loss of the season. This will be the 9th play of the drive.
2 of 5 are the Tigers in 3rd down situations today.
They've converted a 4th. This is 3rd and 10. Three-man rush. Ferguson into coverage and a huge hit on Anthony Miller by Khalil Williams.
I mean, throwing into all type of traffic. That's what will happen sometimes when you get a receiver as talented as Anthony Miller. He'll spoil you, and he'll take you away from where you should go with the football. Outside, not in there, in a congested area where 3 Cougar defenders are waiting on him to come inside.
29-yard attempt for Jake Elliott. Two-time American Conference Special Team Player of the Year. And Elliott punches it through, his second field goal of the game. Memphis with a 27-17 lead. It's rivalry weekend, and Saturday at noon Eastern on ABC. We'll have the 113th playing of the game when number 3 Michigan takes on number 2 Ohio State from the Shoe in Columbus. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. And watch ESPN. Last time Jim Harbaugh was there for a football game in 1986. As Michigan's quarterback, he guaranteed a win in a trip to the Rose Bowl. Urban Meyer was a GA on Earl Bruce's staff then. This season, Michigan has gotten it done with defense.
Yeah, 10 points per game. That leads the FBS. We're going to need every bit of that. You see there, just allowing 246 yards, 37. I mean, they've been spot on automatic on the defensive side of it. But they are facing a different animal tomorrow in Ohio State.
What did Tom Herman tell us about that rivalry? Nasty.
Oh, yeah. It's every bit of what you might think it is.
Urban's offensive coordinator led them to national championship a couple of seasons ago before taking the Houston job. He arrived in Ohio State from Iowa State. And now the rumors are swirling that Tom Herman won't be long for Houston. And Houston has a great history, Andre, of taking coaches who've had success specifically with great quarterbacks onto bigger and better. Art Briles, Kevin Sumlin, Tom Herman may be the next.
I don't know that he won't. You know that he's even considering it at this point. All the considering staying rather with all the rumors that are swirling out there. Representatives are certainly in talks with different universities. There are a lot of good jobs that are either open or that are going to be open by the end of this weekend.
Ward on the run, throws complete, shot at first. Now let me ask you this: coaches want the opportunity to compete for championships.
Yeah.
Can you win a national championship at Houston?
Not until they get themselves in a Power 5 conference. And everybody thought it was going to be the Big 12 when they decided not to expand.
There's Bonner to midfield and a first down, and he's slow to get up.
That certainly put just kind of stopped it from happening. You can get close, but I'm on record as saying that a Group 5 team will never play in the playoff. You'll get close because strength of schedule will always haunt you, always run you down. And you had Louisville ranked. It was a perfect mix this year, but it was still not etched in stone that they would get there.
No other team has 2 wins against top 5 opponents. Houston opened with a win against Oklahoma. You saw Bonner go out with an apparent shoulder injury. It's a big loss for Houston. Ward facing pressure from the edge. Can't get away from it.
What a play.
Memphis brings him down for the first sack of the game. Christian Johnson.
What a play by Johnson. Excellent pass rusher. He provides good depth coming in off the bench. One of the top pass rushers in the state of Tennessee out of high school as a senior when he had 18 and a half sacks his senior year.
And that's his first this season for the Southwind High School product. 3-man rush. Ward to the outside, complete to Isaiah Johnson.
And Tom, you remember the last drive. That's where they really got the Cougars into a bad situation and forced the first punt of this game was when he got behind the down and distance markers. Same thing happening right here with that sack on Greg Ward.
3rd down, 13. Ward over the middle, behind his receiver and intercepted by Memphis. Tigers with a takeaway. It's Sean Rupert with his first pick of the season. off the fingertips of Isaiah Johnson. It's the lightning package for Memphis.
And the offensive line did an outstanding job of picking up the late pressure. And he's trying to go to Isaiah Johnson right here, thrown behind him. He's the speed receiver, not really known for his hands. Goes right off of the left hand into Rupert's chest for the first turnover of this game.
Talking with defensive coordinator Chris Ball, he says we go to our lightning package on third down, the best pass rushers, the best cover guys, and we go at it. And Rupert with his first pick of the year.
Don't be surprised if you see Ferguson, Riley Ferguson, take a shot here. Big turnover, excellent field position for the Tigers.
Leading receiver Linnell Bonner headed to the locker room after coming down hard on his shoulder on the previous drive for Houston. You see that right arm just dangling as he heads back with the athletic training staff.
Not a good look for the junior out of Duquesne High School.
So the Cougars up against it, down 10. We haven't called Ed Oliver's name much today. Number 10, the freshman. Trying to get in on Dorland Dorcius. It's Garrett Davis who comes up with the tackle. No gain.
Really surprised at this approach by Chip Long, the offensive coordinator for Memphis. They've been going so fast, really kind of taking the air out of the football after a big-time turnover and great field position to slow it down with a couple of runs. And in and now in an obvious passing situation for Riley Ferguson. Got to throw it here.
Memphis led this game 20-0 last year. Cougars came from behind to win. Here's Dorcius. That's the amazing part of this game plan for Memphis, Andre. There's been a couple big third down plays where they've simply turned to the running game.
Yeah, the last two drives, they've just really gone to the offensive line. Fantastic blocks inside. Roberson and Montiel, the tight end.
Pressure coming. Away and complete to the outside. And Phil Mayhew, he's got the sideline and finally dragged down by Garrett Davis.
Boy, the speed in which they can hit the gas or take their foot off of it. They make you think they're going to take their foot off of it, go into the running game to start the drive. 3 consecutive plays, and then the flip to Mayhew. Just off balance.
Here's Dorcius. On that play prior, Mayhew went over the century mark, 112 yards on 5 catches. Meanwhile, Dorcius is doing his work. He's averaging nearly 6 yards a carry, and he'll catch a breather.
Yeah, Tommy, my point is that this Cougar defense they've been off balance since the start. Since the Mayhew reception for a touchdown, really, they've been playing on their heels.
Ferguson on the run behind the tight end, Daniel Montiel. We've got a flag down.
Well, if Garrett Davis is looking, he's watching the receiver, but that ball goes right in front of him. Could have been a pick.
Memphis runs a lot of run-pass options, and the danger there is that offensive linemen may get too far downfield. Tom Herman will decline the penalty, it seems.
Ineligible downfield. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's Trayvon Tate, the third-year sophomore out of Houston's North Shore High School.
And referee Adam Savoy and I flew in together. Had a nice conversation down on the field before the game. And a nice job today.
Who else was on the G5?
Well, that was about it.
2nd and 9. Here's Henderson. Can we get that G5 to take us to Nashville tonight? Game? We got Tennessee and Vandy tomorrow night. Big game for both teams. A lot on the line for all of the in-state teams here in the Volunteer State because Memphis can improve their bowl standing with a big win, which would be an upset against Houston. Vandy's trying to get bowl eligible.
Got a lot of room right here in which to work. The corner inside, you may be thinking a slant and go or a hint inside and up the field.
Option to the right side. Darrell Henderson near the marker. Gain of 4. They'll say first down Memphis. They'll be looking at a 1st and goal now.
Boy, these two backs, Henderson and Dorcius, been outstanding today in the run game. And they're outstanding because the 5 guys in front of them, and they throw in a 6th, and Montiel, the tight end, Done a heck of a job up front.
Ferguson slings it. Boy, oh boy, did his receiver get clocked, and we've got a flag on the play.
Yeah, Howard Wilson going to get tagged for a targeting here.
John Williams is the receiver. His nickname is Pop, and he got popped.
Result of the play is an incomplete pass. Personal foul. Targeting a defenseless player. Defense number 6. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down. Previous play is under further review.
And if this holds up, Howard Wilson will not only sit the rest of this one.
Textbook.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
That is crown of the helmet.
Helmet to helmet contact, there's no doubt. He'll be out the rest of the game here. 2 minutes and then the second half.
So with Wilson out, Houston will have to rotate other guys in. Winchester had been behind him and had been in as the other cornerback in the nickel.
Keep in mind that when he leaves the game, 43 tackles will go along with him. The team's leader in interceptions at 5 and 9 pass breakups. So a lot of production. And I believe this is going to stand.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Number 6 is disqualified.
Wilson 6 in the country with those 5 interceptions, and he's lost for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, their best cover man. Excellent in coverage.
It's been a wild season already for Houston, and here in the season finale, not without twists and turns on the field and off. Ferguson hands it off. Straight ahead is Darrell Henderson for a pair. Second and goal forthcoming.
And it wouldn't surprise me if immediately Chip Long at some point here doesn't pick at a scab. And that's when Howard Wilson leaves the game. Whoever takes over, Winchester's moved over, but to find out who else has come into the game in their nickel package. But that's where I'm going to pick if I'm Chip Long, the offensive coordinator for Memphis.
On second and goal. Touchdown, Darrell Henderson. Khalil Williams got run over. It's a 2-yard touchdown plunge.
Nice job by the left side of the offensive line, just holding up. Trayvon Tate, the left tackle. Dustin Woodard, the true freshman at left guard. That's just an excellent job in the effort department by Henderson, putting that hand on the ground to keep himself from going down short of the goal line.
It's his 5th touchdown of the season, touchdown run. And while the targeting penalty didn't have a ton to do with the touchdown drive, 9 plays, 56 yards, it could certainly have a lasting effect on Houston's defense the last minute of this half and throughout the second half. Riley Ferguson has earned a drink. 19 of 25, 268, 2 touchdowns.
We would have coaches in the press box or upstairs that was their primary job. If a guy was limping, that's who we were going at. If a guy left the game because of injury and came back in, that's who you're going at. If one was gone because of an injury for the rest of the game, whoever his replacement was, he was going to get it first.
Well, will this impact whether or not Tom Herman and Todd Orlando play as much nickel in the second half?
I think it will totally change the defensive scheme on the back end for Todd Orlando, because you don't have your best cover man on the outside at Howard Wilson. So certainly it's going to change things up.
Jake Elliott to kick it away. 34-point first half for Memphis. Brandon Wilson elects to bring it out from 5 yards deep. And he gets cut up inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Pardon me, Jameel Collins on the return. Great coverage by this Memphis team. Coming up at the half, we'll join Stan Verrett and Mark May with the Capital One halftime report. Plenty to talk about in college football, including that coaching carousel, which is starting to spin. Right now, it seems Tom Herman is the only one grasping at the brass rings.
Need a score here. You're going to get the ball first out of the locker room. Get yourself back in this ball game.
Greg Ward just 16 of 24 today. Finds McCloskey as tight end out of bounds to stop the clock on a gain of 6.
It's been a big part of what they want to do offensively today. A touchdown reception. Made the move from fullback to tight end last year was Tyler McCloskey. Before that, in 2013, he switched from linebacker to fullback. Solid blocker and a nice receiving tight end he's made out of himself.
Ward on 2nd and 3. Floats one to the outside. There's McCloskey again, and another first down on a gain of 22.
Yeah, we talked about it. When things are off schedule, these receivers, the tight end, McCloskey, they do a nice job, excellent job in the scramble drill of making plays when they're off schedule.
Ward looks right, comes back left, nothing there. Back right again. McCloskey again. 6 yards that time.
Yeah. Preserving some time, keeping those timeouts, working the edges close to the sideline so when you receive it, you can get yourself out of bounds.
Ward looking for Linnell Bonner, who's back on the field, and he got walloped after a first down catch, but held out. No, incomplete. Jonathan Cook separated from the football.
And Cook, the safety, back on that back end, 70 tackles. That's the most on the team on the back end. And their safeties will drop down in the box. They make a lot of plays for this defense, thrown a little bit behind Bonner, who usually reels that baby in.
Remember, he's playing hurt, came back out of the locker room after they took a look at his shoulder. Third down 4. Ward escapes pressure. Will try to scramble for it, puts his head down and maybe got it. Ty Northern chases him out of bounds. And he'll mark it as a first down right at the 50-yard line.
Was he tough to tackle? Mentioned earlier, added about 15 pounds since last year's bowl game. And he's tougher to bring down in the open field because of it.
Last year broke Jackie Battle's single-season touchdown rushing record. He broke it by 6. Ward corralled and dropped by Ernest Suttles.
That is when you have to take the time out here.
Third sack of the season for Suttles.
Houston, their second. 30 seconds.
The coaches have they've been expecting big things from
Please
Suttles.
31 seconds.
They're starting
31
to
seconds.
really look the part.
Thank you.
Second sack for Memphis's defense today. Cole?
I think he's their most athletic defensive lineman. You see the length that he offers, Tom. He's really nice off the edge, but can play the run well also. You put the film on, and Suttles is a guy off the edge with speed around the corner that really sticks out and busts out. And he's somebody that this coaching staff told us in conversation through the week, they rely on him to add a pass rush, especially when they're bringing 2 or 3 guys. So him do it there.
Yeah, he's very athletic, very long, and they refer to him as oily. Oily because he can disengage. He gets off blocks, sheds blocks well. Hard to keep your hands on a guy like Ernest Suttles.
Following us today, 2 of his former teams. He committed to Iowa and ended up going to play for Bo Pelini at Nebraska before being kicked off the team and ending up in Memphis. Ward flushed again. Will tuck it. Ward on a gimpy ankle, forced out of bounds after a rush of 11.
never over. The play's never over when the ball is in Greg Ward Jr.'s hands. He's looking to make a play. So smart with the ball. That's why that pass to Bonner that was intercepted was kind of uncharacteristic of him.
It was only his 9th interception on the season. Ward on the run again, flags down, pass is complete along the sideline.
And it's going to be a hold on left tackle Josh Jones.
Holding, offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Watch the big fella right here. Just watch him work. Keep your eyes right there on 74 Jones. Once Greg Ward escapes, right there. Just a hook around the waist. Wasn't a lot, but it was enough to draw the attention of the officials.
It was on Christian Johnson, who already has a sack today. Backs Houston up now to a 3rd and 15.
Because where they've gotten themselves in trouble behind the sticks.
Ward gets it out to Duke Catalan. And Catalan rumbles all the way to the 35, a gain of 21.
Nice job. They bring on a 4-man rush. They're able to
bite this one.
Able to take advantage of the man coverage behind it once you get Catalan one-on-one. So dangerous in the open field.
So 9 seconds left in the
Game
half.
clock did not start on the previous play. Please adjust the game clock to 7 seconds.
Take a couple of ticks off the clock for Houston, trying to punch it in before the half comes to an end behind Greg Ward Jr. This 2-minute drill is kind of where Greg Ward is right at home, scrambling, chaotic, making plays with his legs and his receivers adjusting.
Well, when it started, all you were really thinking about is field goal. And that's exactly what you're still thinking is to get the small points in this drive with a limited amount of time that you had.
Ward scrambling, will try to get out of bounds. No, he's going to stay in, and that will bring it into the half. So Greg Ward Jr. took off to try to make it happen to close the half, but couldn't get there.
That's the end of the second
Our score
quarter.
at the half, 34-17 Memphis. Capital One halftime report is coming up after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back to college football, presented by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. We get set to start the second half of the season finale between Memphis and Houston, and the Tigers leading number 20 Houston 34-17. Tom Hart alongside Heisman winner Andre Ware. This weekend, Tom Herman will continue to be the story in college football, but if Memphis keeps playing like this, they might upset that story because their offense has been magnificent.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think that at this first drive for the Cougars, very important to get back into this football game. They got to have some points, and it's been because Memphis offensively so fast, so quick with the pace to keep this Cougar defense that we know loves to blitz. They've been keeping them off balance all game long, so it's important this opening drive to go down and get some points.
Like Norvell's team, magnificent first half. They start the second half with a 34-17 lead. We'll remind you that they had a 20-0 lead last year in this game, but lost that lead and eventually lost the game. From inside the goal line, Brandon Wilson. Wilson out past the 30, and he's taken down at the 34-yard line. Let's go down to the field and check in with Cole Kublik.
Tom spoke to Coach Herman coming out from halftime. Asked him about the tempo and pace of Memphis. He said it was a little bit faster than we expected. We got caught in 4 defensive lineman sets a little bit too much. As for offensively in the second half, asked him if he wanted to get the run game going. He said, you know, Cole, we would love to. However, the clock might not allow us to be that kind of an offense. Greg Ward Jr. has been great through the air. Most likely, we will rely on him in the second half.
So down 17 to start the second half. Tom Herman linked to the LSU job, which is currently open. Linked to the Texas job, which is, as of now, Charlie Strong's. Longhorns close their schedule this afternoon. Ward flushed, and he will dump it incomplete.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Oregon's been mentioned. Last night I had friends at the Texas A&M game. They were chanting his name at Kyle Field. I mean, he is a hot name right now.
It's another November swoon for Kevin Sumlin and his Aggies. Former Houston head coach. And then there's always a possibility that LSU, after flirting with Jimbo Fisher, keeps Ed Orgeron after all that. You see the videos from the LSU locker room last night?
You don't know if that story was leaked by LSU to make Jimbo Fisher or force him to make a decision.
A great point. Politics involved at every turn. As Greg Ward Jr. takes it for a run of 11 and a first down. And, of course, if the folks on Herman's side are trying to get Texas to act, then it would be in their best interest to get LSU involved as well. The swirling carousel will continue for some time, but it is unique that both Houston and Texas will wrap up their regular seasons this afternoon. Chance Allen with the reception there for the Cougars. Gain of 8. What needs to happen on this opening drive for Houston?
Points. I mean, points of any sort, because the way Memphis is going offensively, you're going to have to score just about every possession and force a couple of punts, but they've been so explosive, so right on, that he's right. Limited time to get on the scoreboard.
On 2nd and 2, thinking deep. Instead, Ward will scramble, and he gets knocked out of bounds. Cole?
I thought maybe a late hit out of bounds on Greg Ward, who was a little bit slow to get up. Art Avery, your talented linebacker, along the sideline right there.
Five wide for Greg Ward. And it is incomplete, off of the hands of Memphis's Arthur Mollett, the senior, trying to finish with a bang and a missed opportunity.
Well, it kind of baited Greg Ward into throwing. They're going to throw a hitch along the sideline. And a smash route gives the indication he's going to stay up, and then comes right back into it. It hit him right in the middle of the 8. Mollett rarely misses an opportunity like that.
They drop 8 again. Ward completes this one to Chance Allen. Pickup of 6. That will leave 3rd and about 4. There's Mollett with the tackle for Memphis.
You see why they're so high on him. Excellent cover skills, but then a willing tackler. And they pointed to him as the team's MVP on defense this year. Excellent playmaker in that secondary.
3rd down 4. Ward deep down the sideline. Caught! Touchdown, Chance Allen. Flag down in the Houston backfield after that 35-yard strike.
Oh, boy. And it looked as though Chauncey Lanier had...
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense number 6.
Not a hold.
That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Well, they needed points, and they got them.
One of the corners to that side, I thought it was Lanier, got tangled up, and he slips. It allows Chance Allen to come free, and what a nice ball Greg Ward threw for the touchdown reception.
A 7-play, 65-yard drive to open the second half for Houston. Do they have another big comeback in them? They did it last year against Memphis. Greg Ward Jr. did it in the Armed Forces Bowl when he took over at quarterback before Tom Herman ever showed up. They have a flair for the dramatic in H-Town. A couple of touchdown passes for Greg Ward Jr. today as Houston looks to mount a comeback on the road at Memphis. It's now a 10-point game, 1 possession into the second half.
Right at about the 50-yard line, they're going to kick this baby off. So I don't know how it doesn't go into the end zone here.
Mike Norvell's team looking for a signature victory this season against a ranked opponent here in Houston.
Never understand the NFL rules. You kick a kickoff into the end zone, you get the ball at the 25-yard line. You punt it into the end zone, it comes out to the 20. Tell me how that makes sense.
I got nothing for you. Let's take a look at that touchdown.
Yeah, great recognition on the part of Greg Ward Jr. Recognizes he's got a safety on Chance Allen. Coming here, he's going to run a little out and up, and you get the safety here, Chris Morley, who just stumbles, falls down. You got a safety on one of his more talented receivers, little out and up action. He stumbles, the ball's put in perfect position for Allen to score the touchdown.
Let's see if Riley Ferguson and Memphis can answer. Ferguson hit on each of his first 11 pass attempts of this game. He's 19 of 25 for 268. He's got Darrell Henderson in the backfield with him, and they won't get a play off.
False start.
False start. Offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, you look back to last year's matchup when Memphis blew a 20-point fourth quarter lead, and it was just as much Memphis mistakes as it was Houston taking advantage. 2 turnovers, a missed field goal. Paxton Lynch threw an interception. Dorland Dorcius dropped a pitch, and they led Houston back in the game. Now on 1st and 15, this is Anthony Miller, able to pick up 5.
They've done a nice job getting the ball in the hands of the playmakers. Miller, Mayhew, Dorcius, Henderson. When it's coming from so many different angles, it's hard to pinpoint or stop or lock down one playmaker. When you got that many guys contributing, makes it tough on a defense.
Stephen Taylor with a tackle on Darrell Henderson after a gain of 2. And Ed Oliver's going to limp off the field.
Unable to finish the game against Louisville last week. And then here, he's kind of holding that right knee. You never want to see that on anyone.
5-star recruit. Said no to Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Texas, Texas A&M, among others. He signed with his hometown school, and we talked to Tom Herman about it this week. He said he was the second guy in our class to sign. And once Ed Oliver signed, it really opened up everybody else's eyes in the city to say if it's good enough for him, it could be good enough for me.
The H-Town takeover was really firmly planted at that point. Once he decided to come aboard, it really validated what they wanted to do.
Incomplete, trying to find Phil Mayhew. And so that's a quick 3-and-out for Memphis, and that was the question back to the first half. How can tempo backfire on Memphis? Here's one way.
Yeah, when you're not moving it, when you're not collecting first downs and allowing yourself the opportunity to go fast, when you're trying to tempo and you're in third downs and you're not converting on third downs, that's how you stop it.
First punt of the day for Spencer Smith. Colin Wilder takes a fair catch after a 39-yard punt. And so we're 3 minutes into the third quarter, and Houston looking perhaps for another remarkable comeback. In this game last year, Houston was without Greg Ward Jr. He ended up leaving the game due to an injury. Go-ahead touchdown with 1:27 to go. Houston missed a field goal from Jake Elliott from 48 yards out. Memphis 2 turnovers in the final quarter. Dorland Dorcius a drop pitch, Paxton Lynch an interception, also a defensive pass interference. They blew a 20-point lead.
Kyle Postma led that comeback with Greg Ward injured. Paxton Lynch was shut down in the second half of that game.
Postma out with a broken arm and a broken foot on the same play against Tulane. He had been Ward's backup. That was a game against Tulane where they basically finished without a quarterback and able to hold on for dear life late in the fourth quarter. Greg Ward will roll. Incomplete after being chased by Ernest Suttles.
Oh, just so smart with a football. And you say, well, it's just a simple throwaway. But not every quarterback gets it, because they'll force that ball into coverage, rolling right, throw back across the field. He realizes, and he's played enough football, that the throwaway and to come back on third down, how many times we've converted on third down situations. As long as I've got another down, throw it away and come back to live and fight another down.
They're well off the slot receiver here with trips to the right and then movement on the right side. Braylon Jones, the right tackle.
Start, offense number 52, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Yeah, Braylon Jones, a true freshman, and he jumps because Memphis, they were going from their 3-down set to 4, and he saw movement up front along the defensive line. With that movement caused the right tackle Jones to jump.
Ward pressured, and they get to him. Greg Ward taken down, able to get past the line of scrimmage, but Arthur Mollett at the bottom of that pile coming up with a big stop.
Boy, and I tell you what, just relentless in their approach to getting to the quarterback. He escapes initially. Watch him step up, makes Mollett miss. Also Avery, but the two still continue to compete and find their way back to Greg Ward.
Third sack of the day for Memphis. Dane Roy, the Australian, to punt it away. Freshman John Williams driven back and asked for a fair catch. 10-point game. Back to Memphis after this.
Jared the Galleria of Jewelry. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition. Taco Bell's new Steakhouse Burrito and Steakhouse Nachos. No reservations, no garnishes. Just the steakhouse good stuff. And Buick. It's Black Friday all month long at your Buick dealer.
Time now for today's Aflac Trivia question. Last season, Houston rallied from 20 down in the fourth quarter to come from behind and defeat Memphis. Hello, Duck. In the last 2 seasons, how many other teams have come from 20 down in the fourth quarter to win the game? We saw one of them in the postseason. TCU's comeback against Oregon, right?
Yeah, we were there to witness that one.
On the slant, here's Anthony Miller. And he has a first down and a gain of 12.
Kind of gone back to the original game plan where it's find Miller, Mayhew, take the outside first to open up things between the tackles.
Ferguson has everybody covered, and so he'll find the sideline.
Nice job of being in the right place at the right time. Garrett Davis, the safety, dropping down to help out, taking away an option of Riley Ferguson.
They want Riley Ferguson to be more, they want him to be careful running the football, especially if he got hurt last week. But he hasn't run a whole lot on those options. Some movement on the Memphis line.
Offense number 72, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Trayvon Tate, his second false start.
Adamant about it.
That's a big penalty.
It's huge. Certainly changes the play call.
Second down and 15. They're looking for a screen. Tony Pollard gets hogtied and dropped. Gain of 2. Brandon Wilson with the tackle for Houston.
Oh, he is just a playmaker. Last year had to roll over and play some running back because of the shortage of running backs after a lot of injuries. Just solid player. Returned a kick as well for a touchdown and a big game. And there's Ed Oliver back on the field here in an obvious pass rushing situation.
Ball tip coming out of the hand of Riley Ferguson, and it falls to the turf.
This second half off to a little bit of a different start than the first half. It was all Memphis. Cougars go down. We've seen more punts already in the second half than we did this early in the second half than we did in the first half. And Khalil Williams with that deflection.
Yeah, punters busier out of the break. Fair catch taken at the 30 by Colin Wilder. 37-yard punt. Memphis 34. Number 20 Houston 24. Leads Houston 34-24 here at the Liberty Bowl. Revisit our Aflac trivia question.
I thought I had an answer, but I'm not sure I got enough points.
We're told
20 points, right?
20 plus. So you're told these are regular season games.
Yeah, I was thinking Ole Miss, A&M.
Nobody else.
Nobody.
In 649 such games of the last 2 years, last 2 seasons of regular season college football. They swing it out to Duke Catalan. Good blocking by McCloskey, and Catalan is able to find a couple. Curtis Akins with the tackle.
Tricked us with that Aflac question. Just thinking hard and long about that.
Houston at one point was down 17 in this one, 34-17 at the half. Scored on their first possession of the second half. They forced a couple of Memphis punts here in the third quarter.
Pressure again. They're in the middle.
That's Avery. Here's Catalan. Able to pick up 4. Jannard Avery with the stop.
Well, these two defenses, they're a lot alike in terms of bringing pressure. Memphis, they wanted to be physical, even with the receivers. You know, when they catch the football, make them feel it.
On third down, it's incomplete. Trying to fit it into Linnell Bonner. And Houston will have to punt it away. Chris Morley, the safety, with the coverage.
It makes up for that touchdown pass he gave up to Chance Allen right there. It's a simple out route, making sure that Bonner gets to the sticks. It's a nice job, little pivot route back outside, and it's thrown a little bit behind him and low, which allows Morley to get a hand on the football.
Dane Roy's going to take off with it. And the freshman from Australia converts on fourth down for Houston. It's an 11-yard run for the former Aussie rules player.
Well, look how far back he is to punt the football and how far he's got to go to pick up the first down. Really sells it. Memphis in pure return on special teams. And that'll drive a coach crazy right there. You've done all you needed to do to get off the field, and you allow a punter to run for a first down.
And there's no excuse. They saw it last week. He had a 15-yard pass to Myron Simpson on a fake punt against Louisville. So the offense back on the field. Ward has all day. Uncorks one deep, incomplete.
Tom, you go back to that fake punt for Houston. A lot of people complain, fans especially, about that rollout punt. Why do you do the rugby-style punt? I think that's a read right there by the punter. You see multiple coverage men well down the field. He saw the edge. He took it, converted the first down.
Yeah, and it's a roll every play. So you're basically gauging it and setting it up for at some point in the game that exact thing could happen.
27-year-old true freshman. Ward over the middle. There's Bonner. He gets tied up just outside the 45 after a gain of 7. Third down coming.
There's that physicality, Tom, that we talked about. When the receiver catches the football, be physical. Make him feel it and not want to come over the middle for that pass the next time.
Ward quickly to the outside, and Bonner makes a first man miss and takes it for a first down. Gain of 8. Sharif White the stop.
Bonner's so talented. Can't believe this kid started his career as a walk-on. Get quickly put him on scholarship. What a nice move right there. Give it, take it away, pick up another Cougar first down.
Tigers bring extra men. The slant's there to Bonner, and he escapes the first man again. Big time play by Linnell Bonner. It goes for 16 and another first down. He eluded Chris Morley, the first man to him.
My man Barkley used to say, live by the 3, die by the 3. Well, you live by the blitz. In this game, you wind up dying by it. Look at this big cluster of 4 up top.
It's a run all the way. And Greg Ward Jr. scampers out of bounds after a gain of 11.
That was until the Golden State Warriors came around years ago.
They've been living and living by the three.
Yeah, they've seemed to survive the threes.
So a little sleight of hand with quad receivers to one side, and Ward took off the other way. Pistol now with Catalan behind him. It'll rise and fire. Chance Allen gets wrestled to the ground by Chris Morley.
Well, nice recognition once again on the part of Greg Ward. They try to go corner blitz and bring the safety over the top, and it's the matchup you want again. Worley against Chance Allen.
2nd and 1. Catalan bottled up, and he'll be dropped for no gain. Jonathan Wilson there, the Louisiana native.
And both teams now have the personnel on the field. Cougars have not gone to a huddle because they like the personnel in which Memphis is trying to play in.
Nor have they subbed to give Memphis a chance to sub. 12th play in the drive.
There's the matchup. Big receiver, smaller corner. You have Bonner at the top in the slot, maybe on a corner route.
Option. Ward cuts it back up, takes a hit. No gains. Sharif White there with the stop. And that's going to bring up 4th and about 1. You take the kick.
I think you go for it. You got some momentum. You need touchdowns to get back in this game. He's going to go ahead and elect to kick it. But 4th and short, I'd give it to Big Duke Catalan and let him pick up the first down for me.
And something consider, it's not 4th and goal from the 3, it's 4th and 1.
Yeah, you can pick up the first down and get a fresh set of downs in.
But this would make it a 1-possession game. It would be their second score in the second half in 3 possessions. 20-yard attempt for Ty Cummings.
This is telling me, Tom, that Tom Herman feels pretty good about the way his defense is playing here in the second half. To take 3 at this point with it being 4th and inches.
Delay. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Well, that eliminates that.
Yes.
Now you certainly kick the field goal.
Greg Ward Jr. trying to lead Houston to another comeback. 25-yard attempt here for Cummings. He hasn't missed inside 30 this, pardon me, he's missed 1 inside 30 this season. And the chip shot is good. Houston's defense has picked it up in the second half. Tom Herman's offense has scored twice. We've got a touchdown game. It's in a rivalry weekend, nothing like handing your rival a big-time loss. That's what teams NC State's getting ready to do to Carolina. These two teams here in Memphis meeting for the 25th time, and that Houston sideline is fired up. They won 6 straight against Memphis, but they had to come from behind last year to do so. Tony Pollard has 2 kickoff return scores this season. He won't have a chance here. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. It's the story of 2 quarterbacks today, 2 halves, really.
Yeah, you look at it. Riley Ferguson hot in the first half of the ball game. Overall, 22 of 31, 288 yards and a touchdown, 2 touchdown passes. The first there to Phil Mayhew. And then Greg Ward, the second half, has been spot on. Different player, different team, 8 of 13, 90 yards, and the touchdown to Chance Allen has gotten the University of Houston right back in this ball game.
Riley Ferguson will roll on first down, and he floats it across the middle. It is caught by Joy Magnifico. Gain of 12.
Boy, did you see him there look off 2 receivers in the first progression to come back to the third on a crossing.
And now on the ground, and Dorland Dorcius carries guys with him to the 45, a gain of 8. Matthew Adams, the stop.
Chip Long really has a pulse on his offense. When to go fast, when to pull up. He come out in an aggressive mode, a pass on first down, and come back to a run underneath to Dorcius. Nice mix of play calling here.
Third possession of the second half for Memphis. They've had to punt it away on each of the first 2. Ferguson, deep ball, right sideline, incomplete, no flag. Jeremy Winchester had the coverage on Anthony Miller.
makes a play on the football just at the right time. The young sophomore, Winchester, of everyone in that secondary, they certainly pick on him. And you see the head turn just at the last second, along with making a play on the football. They're not going to call that. It's not pass interference.
Great closing speed by Winchester to catch up, and it'll leave 3rd and 3.
Either that or it was underthrown.
Well, one of the two. Let's try to stay positive. And movement on the left side, Daniel Montiel.
Full start, offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So a missed opportunity for Memphis. The Tiger faithful thought they saw pass interference on that previous play.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprise with Montiel. He has really come on strong the last month or so. Excellent red zone target. He stepped in for Alan Cross, who was Mr. Automatic last year for this Memphis offense at that position.
Cross down the NFL with Tampa Bay. 3rd down 8. Ferguson can't get rid of it, and he flicks it back towards the line of scrimmage. He was being chased by Tyus Bowser.
Nice job by this defense. Aided in a false start penalty. Get them into 3rd and long, and they rise up and going to force another punt here.
Spencer Smith to punt it away. Colin Wilder waits. Fair catch asked for, and Wilder in traffic at the 27. 34-yard punt. Rivalry weekend, and Saturday at noon Eastern on ABC. We'll have the 113th playing of the game. Number 3 Michigan. Number 2 Ohio State from the shoe in Columbus. Game also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Let's take a look at our college football playoff rankings, brought to you by PlayStation. Number 1 with a bullet, Alabama. They'll be playing for an SEC title next week.
It'll be a tough game. It's going to be a tough football game this week against Auburn in the Iron Bowl.
And the rest of the top 10, Oklahoma State hurt by that season opening loss to Central Michigan on a game that the officials misplay. There's Catalon on the run on 1st down.
He is good at stringing it out, getting the defense to overflow, and then the cutback. When he puts that foot in the ground, he is committed. Nice edge runner.
Started his college career at Texas. Redshirted his lone year in Austin. Then transferred to Houston. 2nd down 7. Ward on the run. Was scooped up just above the turf by Stephen Dunbar. He's able to take it for a 1st down. Gain of 17.
And you see Dunbar work his way back to the football. Watch the push off, and then this, working back to the ball. Otherwise, that ball's going to fall short of his feet and fall right at the shoestrings of Stephen Dunbar.
325 yards through the air for Ward. Empty backfield. Pressured on a 4-man rush. They almost get to him, and Ward flicks it out to find Dunbar, and a gain of 2, making something out of nothing.
Boy, is he a magician at the position or what? Now, you got to run and start, and you basically force him to spin back into a tackle. You think you got him there, and the eyes always looking down the field. That's why there's so many passing yards after contact for him. Once the first defender misses, his eyes are right back down the field.
Ward down the sideline, incomplete. Trying to find Bonner down there.
Thought it could have gone back to Keith Corbin, who was very much in the RPO here. He comes across in motion. And could have just given it to him out in front, let him catch it, pick up a few yards. Instead, he decides to throw it away and come back on 3rd down. Big down here for the Memphis Tigers to get off the field.
Greg Ward has been magnificent on 3rd down today, 7 of 10.
Loading up the blitz at the top, going to back out of it.
over the middle, and a falling catch for a first down. Now 8 of 11 on third down as Greg Ward Jr. and Bonner helps move the chain.
Tom, love the nickname that they gave us for Bonner on the calls this week. Coach Herman said we call him Spot Bonner because you can usually spot the football where he catches it. Doesn't have a whole lot of juice after the catch, but very reliable otherwise.
Didn't need any on that one. Picked up the first down with the grab, and then they go back to the perimeter, and a gain of 6 at time for Stephen Dunbar.
Kind of a page out of Memphis's playbook. Start working the edges with Bonner and Dunbar. Mix in a little Chance Allen, and then you go right back to Duke Catalon when you get Memphis spread out, trying to get underneath the routes on the outside.
Ward chucks one deep, looking in zone. It is incomplete. Dunbar, the intended receiver. Mollett, senior from New Orleans, had the coverage.
Yeah, first down, you're going to just take a shot. Excuse me, second down and short. You're going to take a shot here. And it's Dunbar, the big receiver, all 6'3", 210 pounds. Let him throw him a 50-50 ball, and that one actually should have pretty good chance of catching that one. Felt like he should have caught it.
Matched up with Mollett again. Third down 3.
Nothing in the middle of the field. Just wide open for a slant route. And you see Greg Ward checking. He recognizes it. See if he goes there.
Nobody goes there, and it's incomplete. There wasn't a single route to the middle of the field. Bonner, the nearest receiver. Chris Morley, the coverage. 4th and 3. Offense stays on the field for Houston. Down a touchdown.
Yeah, you're pretty much going to get the same look. They're going zero coverage again. Going to force nothing back here. Going to force a quick throw from Greg Ward with pressure. And there's the extra defender right there.
Houston's allowed 3 sacks today, 30 on the season.
The overload working to the right side of the offensive line. That's where the pressure's coming from.
Ward will roll that way. And he's going to try to scramble. Goes airborne and helicopters his way for a first down. What a play by Greg Ward.
Well, a nice job. He recognizes where the pressure's coming from. Slides the offensive line to that side to give himself time to get to the wide side of the field.
Quick snap and pitch to Catalon. 1 yard on the left side that time. Here's Ward going airborne.
You see him just give it up, just stretching, fighting, scratching for every inch to pick up the first down.
Bump shoulder, bad ankle. This guy's all sorts of banged up.
What a competitor, though. Laying it on the line for his team.
Dylan Burden flanks him in the backfield. 2nd down 9. Complete to Allen. Had his knee down. A gain of 6.
I think both these defenses, they're ready for a little hitch and go action. You got a couple of corners on both sides of the field driving on balls aggressively. Double move time.
Career high 33 completions today for Greg Ward Jr. Play was whistled dead before it got started. Flag down.
Got a false start. Someone along the left side.
Offense number 88. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It was Dunbar along the left side of the formation that got started a little bit early. That'll be our final play. We won't even get it off. We'll go right on into the 4th quarter here.
Greg Ward Jr. is putting up Andre Ware type numbers. Is this a run and shoot? 33 of 50 for 346 and 2 scores. Trying to get Houston back in this 4th quarter in a second half comeback. College football continues after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. ESPN, and this is turning into a classic as we hit the 4th quarter. Greg Ward Jr. trying to will Houston to another come-from-behind win. It's a 7-point game, and Ward banged up after picking up that first down a couple plays ago, limping his way through second half of this game.
5 wide. Be aware for the quarterback run here. Watch the quarterback draw. Maybe he picks it up. If not, you get it to 4th and 3 or less. You think about going for it.
He wants to throw all the way over the middle, complete for a first down to Bonner. Gain of 12, and for Bonner, his 12th catch of the game.
Oh, just automatic on third down is Bonner.
Now Catalan. Nobody picks up the defender, and Catalan gets chucked by Jonathan Cook. It's a loss of 1.
And he felt that one from Cook. Cook's had a couple of big hits in this game, but they go to 4 receivers in a bunch. You've seen that much. You see 3 a lot of times, but that's just a heck of an open field tackle right there by Jonathan Cook.
Last time they went to the bunch formation, it was a quarterback draw. Four-man rush. Ward over the middle again. Caught again by Linnell Bonner. He's been targeted 19 times this afternoon.
Cole's right. He is. Call him Spot Bonner. Catches it. He goes right down at the spot.
Ward looking for the pylon. And he gets popped out of bounds by Mollett. Just 1 yard on the carry.
Oh, that's as fiery as I've ever seen. Greg Ward, he comes back and gives it to Stephen Dunbar. He wanted the block and didn't get one from Dunbar.
Burden in the backfield, play action, looking for the screen. They swing it out, and it's knocked down by Avery, who had clear sailing if he could have hauled it in.
If he catches that one on the run, nobody's going to catch the big fella, Denard Avery. What a break on the football. A little lazy with it was Greg Ward. Just took for granted he had an automatic throw until number 6 flashes in the picture.
Ward all the way, runs into his own man, then he runs into a Memphis man. Denard Avery with another big play. It's a loss of 6, and that'll bring up 4th and goal.
You meant that plurally, didn't you?
Yes.
Because there were about 4 Memphis jerseys that show up at the doorstep of Greg Ward Jr. Designed quarterback run to bring McCluskey around to lead the way, Catalan along with him, and tremendous penetration up front by the Memphis Tigers.
So a 26-yard attempt now for Ty Cummings, who's already made 2 field goals this afternoon. And that one is true. That was an 18-play drive for Houston, but it ends in only 3. Weekend in advance of number 3 Michigan and number 2 Ohio State. An expanded game day coverage begins at 7 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. And watch ESPN. Included in the coverage tomorrow, an Urban Meyer conversation. He talks both Schembechler, Woody Hayes, and the storied Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. You wonder if Urban and Harbaugh could put together another 10-year war like Bo and Woody did that defined not only the Big Ten but also college football.
This is great to have that rivalry game back and have it mean something.
Tony Pollard from the 1 to the 30 to the 40 where he gets flipped and a flag down.
It's usually a block in the back. Players are traveling so fast right about the 30-yard line, so this one's going to come marching back.
During the return, holding receiving team number 2. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Ty Northern flag on the return. So Memphis' offense has been stagnant here in the second half. Total yards 373 in the first half, 268 through the air for Ferguson, and only 32 in the second half.
Yeah, and why hadn't you seen them go fast? Well, there's been no production. You can't go fast if you're behind the sticks. They've been there the last couple of possessions. I had a feeling if they don't score here, they're going to trail in this game the way the Houston offense is heated up.
Only 2 first downs in the second half for Memphis. And a big lick right at the line of scrimmage by Matthew Adams on Patrick Taylor Jr.
Stephen Taylor gets a lot of credit, and rightfully so, for his playmaking ability in the middle of that defense, but I think just as talented as Matthew Adams, and you see him right there just tee off on Darrell Henderson.
Taylor, and he gets taken down after a gain of 3. Stephen Taylor in on the stop, the senior from Cedar Hill.
The big back at 6'3", 216. It was Taylor as opposed to Henderson the previous play, but I don't know what the thinking is for Memphis right here. Maybe they thought 34 points was going to be enough, and it kind of have become predictable in a sense, where you know exactly they've run on a couple of possessions, first and second down, and putting Riley Ferguson in an awkward position.
They put Dorcius in the slot.
Here comes the heat.
A host of Cougars on the left side, and the pass complete that way to Anthony Miller, gain of 8.
I was surprised when I turned the video on to start studying up on Riley Ferguson and just how accurate he really is. 63% on the year, but this shows you right here. Terrific coverage, great ball location from quarterback to receiver. Extremely accurate with the footballs, number 4.
Well, Chip Long gave us a scouting report. He can really drive the ball. The challenge was getting him to stay in the pocket. Here's Taylor. Pick up a 5. Cole.
Tom, last play you saw 2 tight ends for Memphis, 12 personnel. When I spoke to Tom Herman at halftime, he said, we saw more of that than we expected to in the first half. Now, we haven't seen much of it this half. So if Memphis is going to run some clock, get the ground game going, that's a formation they will rely on.
12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 back.
Pressure on Ferguson. Taken down from the blind side by Khalil Williams. First sack of the day for Houston.
First year as a full-time starter out of Hightower High School. I paid taxes in that school district. Good to see a young man making a play from right around the neighborhood.
They're going to hit you up for more Promethean boards there.
I'm paying enough, trust me.
3rd and 12. They show corner blitz and now drop it off. And they're going to run it on 3rd and 12. Patrick Taylor picks up 9. Garrett Davis up for the stop.
Khalil Henderson with that big sack. Once again, going to force another punt. Young man that played as a true freshman in 2014, and injuries forced him into action that year.
Surprised, Andre, they'd run it on 3rd and 12?
Yeah, I really am, but they're being protective right now and feel as though they have enough time to get something accomplished, whether Houston scores or not, to get back in the game with another possession.
Spencer Smith is the Memphis punter. Colin Wilder waits to receive. Ground ball fielded by Wilder at the 20, kept it from getting all the way back, possibly even inside the 10. It's a 40-yard punt. So Greg Ward Jr. in Houston trailing by 4. They have yet to lead today.
The Jared the Galleria of Jewelry. In part by Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. And GMC. We are professional grade.
Tom Hart with Andre Ware. They've had some great quarterbacks on Cullen Boulevard in Houston. Greg Ward Jr. following a long line of greats, and he is as gutty as any of them.
Yeah, how talented is Greg Ward Jr.? Well, very. He can kill you from the pocket, sit and sort things out, throwing dimes down the field. You don't like that? Well, he can hurt you with his legs as well, making a nice play here, picking up a first down. And then you get him outside the pocket or allow him to sit there. He'll throw a nice deep ball right here to Chance Allen. Talented young man, very smart, finishes the sentences of his offensive coordinator, Major Applewhite. When they go through a check system, got a chance to sit in on a meeting before the bowl game last year. Major would pose him with questions. He'd finish them before Major would finish giving him the question.
He's been dealing with injuries really all season. Talking with Tom Herman before this game. How do you deal with that? How does he deal with it? Simple. Get a thicker mouthpiece. Just bite down.
Yep, a little bit harder. Fasten the chin strap a little bit tighter.
to Catalan. Gain of 5 on first down. Curtis Akins brings him down.
Didn't show any effects of that shoulder injury on that pass. Nice touch over the top to Catalan. This kid can make every throw. He can drive the ball down the field, put touch on it. Just when you think you have him bottled up, forget about it. He'll escape and make another play on it.
And he'll take off. That's going to leave 3rd and about 2. DeMarco Montgomery with the tackle.
I've been surprised to see just how much Greg Ward's moved around in this game. We knew he wasn't 100%.
On 3rd down, he'll swing it out to Catalan, and Catalan has the first down. Go ahead, Cole.
We knew he wasn't 100% coming into the game. Knew he was banged up. You guys have referenced it often. Coach Herman told us, we're selling out. That's it. This is all in. We'll move the pocket. We'll run him. It's hard to imagine that you're going to put a guy in that situation, but boy, what a competitor Greg Ward has proved he is today. Whether it's rollouts, direct quarterback runs, showing a lot of toughness.
Yeah, when it's win time, Tom, when it's time to go win the football game, there aren't any amount of carries that Major Applewhite will take from Greg Ward. He will run him more, and he will be a bigger part of this game as you get closer to winning the football game or to try to put it away.
15 carries to this point. Looking for a double pass. They get it away just in time, and it is incomplete.
Bonner with a scare. There's a Memphis defender. As soon as he touched the football and let it go, went low around the knee area. Watch it here. You're going to see Bonner right here bubble back. Watch the pass, clear lateral, but not sure the defender that comes in late may have been Jonathan Cook, the safety.
Empty backfield, 2nd down 10. Crossing route, complete. Gain of 4. There's Bonner again. And that is his 14th catch and 20 targets today.
They're going right at the strength of this defense, the secondary. Excellent corners and Millette and Lanier.
Ward. Ooh! McCloskey pays the price. Gain of 5, short of the first down. It will leave 4th and 1. Dontrell Nelson is also down after delivering the hit on McCloskey.
What a lick from the senior reserve corner. It's going to be just short of a first down here where they're spotting this ball. Now, this is a big-time collision right here. We'll watch Greg Ward. He wants to go inside first, and they make him to McCloskey. Then he pivots back out. Never saw the defender coming, and I'm betting it's a shoulder for Nelson and maybe around the rib area for McCloskey.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass, short of the line to gain, 4th down.
Looks as though Tom Herman's going to roll the dice here from right around the 44-yard line or so.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 1 from the 45-yard line. He told Colt coming out of the locker room at half that they're going to have to outscore Memphis in the second half, even though his defense may have played better than he expected throughout the 3rd quarter. Now you got a guy, Greg Ward Jr., who can do a little bit of everything. What he asked from him on 4th and 1.
Well, I would spread him out. They've gone to that 5-wide look where you have an option to run the quarterback. And you've got 5 to block 5 with a guy like Greg Ward. All it takes is a crease. He's got Catalan in the backfield, but I would get him out in the route, and then that frees things up for Ward.
If you're just getting back from shopping, Houston has never led in this game. Memphis jumped out to a 14-3 advantage, and at one point led by as many as 17. Ward wants to throw. Out route. Caught by Bonner! Bonner, and here he goes down the sideline. Linnell Bonner will give Houston its first lead of the day on a 55-yard reception.
Boy, he was going to Bonner no matter what. And he throws into coverage, and the guy's hands are so good. What a grab by Bonner. A simple out route allows the defender to go by him. It's Jonathan Cook. You're going to put a safety on Bonner. You are asking for trouble, and they got it.
On 4th and 1, they go to the air. Point after is good from Ty Cummings. Greg Ward Jr. has engineered another comeback. They've outscored Memphis 20-0 in the second half. Cougars with a field goal lead with 7:02 to go from Memphis. Memphis lead at the half has dissipated. It's been all Houston in the second half behind Greg Ward Jr. Let's take a look at today's All-State. Good hands play.
Yeah, just a simple out route, but it's the presence in mind by Bonner to know exactly where he is on the field. Nice pickup by the running back, but he stops, lets the defender go by. Knows exactly where he is, so he doesn't run the route out of bounds. Stops, comes back inside, and the only spot he found right there, Cole, was the end zone for 6.
447 yards passing for Ward, the most in the American this season. Kick into the end zone. Cole Kubelik, what do you got?
Hey, tough to call that kid Spot Bonner after that football play. Andre, I can't help but think of Anquan Bolden when I see that young man play football. Not afraid to test the middle. He's taken a lot of big shots today and not afraid to do work after the catch, even if that includes being physical and running through defenders. Impressive afternoon for that young man.
Yeah, he's taking some shots. Remember the pass that he tried to throw to Chance Allen? Took a shot low. He's beaten up, far from 100%, but still willing to make the tough plays, and then gets rewarded there. A nice ball from Greg Ward. Turns it into a touchdown run.
5th possession of the second half for Memphis. Nothing to show for it. Ferguson on the run. Knocked incomplete by Brandon Wilson. Now on 4 out of their 5 second half possessions, Memphis has thrown it on first down.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they hadn't gone to the run pass option with a pump fake, because the Cougars are biting so hard. They came out of the gate with it to Phil Mayhew, and it worked for a touchdown. Surprised they haven't gone back to it because of the aggression of this Cougar secondary.
Ferguson gets turned around, fights through traffic, on the run, lets it go. It is dropped by Dorcius.
A heck of a job in terms of working within the pocket and then keeping the eyes down the field, but Dorcius should have come up with a big catch. Nice job here by working to find an open area, and then that's one that Dorcius usually comes down with. Everything has gone wrong for this Memphis team in the second half offensively, and partly because self-inflicted wounds, false starts, starting behind the chains.
Ed Oliver back on the field for Houston, and knows. Loops around. They can't get to Ferguson. It is incomplete, but a flag on the play.
Well, he may have caught it anyway.
Winchester was there on the coverage.
Pass interference, you'll take the 15. Winchester, in the last couple of weeks, Louisville and Lamar Jackson wanted to go at him. He's going to get tested here late in the 4th quarter.
Pass interference, defense number 24. Spot foul, automatic, first down.
Remember, Howard Wilson, the starting cornerback, ejected due to targeting late second quarter.
See Winchester there, and their nickel look. They'll slide Brandon Wilson inside. To do some reshuffling around.
Yeah, more playing time for Terrell Williams, who's on the field now for Houston at a safety spot. And Dorsey is able to take it for 6.
Then if you're Tom Herman in this situation, you're a little bit nervous because you don't want this Memphis offense to get itself cranked up again. They can chew some clock and really leave you very little to get back in the game.
Back to the ground game. And Dorsey is wrapped up by B.J. Singleton, the senior from Destrehan, Louisiana.
And it's not Ed Oliver in the game right now.
Well, they've been rotating him in and out, playing with that knee brace.
It's really been obvious passing situations where kind of being spot played.
Third down 3. Blitz coming from the linebacker. Over the middle on the slant, complete to Anthony Miller again. A gain of 10. For Miller, his 11th catch. He's over 100 yards.
It's kind of a bad decision to leave a safety on Miller. In the slot, put Garrett Davis on their most talented receiver, Anthony Miller. You're asking for trouble. You missed that tackle, and it's see you later bye.
7th 100-yard game of the career for Miller, for a former walk-on. Tony Pollard is bottled up. Loss of 1. Tyus Bowser there.
Yeah, and you kind of sense they smell blood in the water, where all of a sudden the pressure is starting to come. And it'll come from different looks, 3 downs, 4 downs. They are playing downhill, whereas in the first half they were back on their heels a little bit because of the pace of the Memphis offense. Right now it's Houston defensively dictating the pace of how things are played here in the second half.
Ferguson pressured. Able to find Anthony Miller. It's a gain of 12.
Just trying to bring one more than you can protect against. And when you have an athletic quarterback like Riley Ferguson, he can step his way out of trouble, keeping his eyes down the field, and then you're going to give up some big plays because of the man-to-man look.
Garrett Davis running up to show blitz. Ferguson looking downfield. Here's Miller again. 2-yard gain for Miller, 13th catch.
Let's tack on another catch pretty much there for Miller.
Down by 3, and their kicker, Jake Elliott, is hit 9 from 50 plus. They are in his comfort range right here. Oh, into traffic, incomplete.
Well, that's when you turn your back on that play, it better be clean. As you had a Houston defender drop into the throwing area, the throwing lane, and there's no way Ferguson is able to see it because he was messing around with a play fake. You turn your back to the coverage and come back to it that quickly, it better be clean, or you need to eliminate and get to the next receiver. But that was almost a dangerous pass, certainly, and almost an interception.
It would be a 52-yard field goal from here. Elliott in his career is hit from 56. Ferguson, deep ball, says let's take the field goal out of it. Miller, got it! Touchdown, Memphis, Anthony Miller!
It's Winchester who they pick on. Both teams, Greg Ward going to his go-to guy, and Lionel Bonner, it's Riley Ferguson going to his go-to receiver, and Anthony Miller. I'm going to let it go, let Miller go up and make a play for me. What an excellent job of concentrating. You see the eyes all the way through the catch. What a play.
Anthony Miller is a former walk-on. He did not have a single catch his first 2 years in his program. He has since broken Isaac Bruce's record for single-season receiving yardage. 83 catches for Anthony Miller this season. 14 today for a $159. Tom Herman's team on the wrong end of a 41-37 score now as this back-and-forth affair continues from the Liberty Bowl. All right, thanks, Dan. Yeah, it's been a fun one. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. This was all Memphis in the first quarter. Houston battling back in the second half, 20 unanswered until that last play. Riley Ferguson able to go 35 yards to his favorite target.
And it's because they were able to quicken the tempo again, get back in what they the game plan was originally supposed to be quick passes, Ferguson avoiding and buying himself some time, and that allowed for the receiver Anthony Miller to get himself down the field.
Both quarterbacks have their favorite guy in this game, and both favorites have made big plays. In fact, they just traded touchdowns with Bonner hauling it in for Ward.
And to your point earlier, that was the first drive of the second half that Memphis didn't find itself behind the sticks because of a penalty. And so when you get in 3rd and long, you know Todd Orlando is going to bring some pressure. They hadn't dealt with it very well until that last possession.
So Greg Ward Jr. comes back out for Houston. He has thrown for 447 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. It's refreshing, isn't it, that the beginning of the day and last night, the talk around this Houston program was all about a possible coaching change, but now the play on the field has our rapt attention.
No doubt.
On an out route, a gain of 7 on first down to Linnell Bonner. And for Bonner, that is his 16th reception from Greg Ward Jr., who has targeted him 22 times.
I'll tell you what, he is automatic. You get it in the area, 15's going to come down with the ball.
Pressured, then they dump it out to Catalon. Catalon taken down by Curtis Akins, no gain. Well, maybe a couple, but he's short of the first down. That's going to leave 3rd and less than 1.
And this is where they want to quicken the pace. They're not a knock-you-out team. They'll go fast on 3rd and short, 4th and short.
They've run quarterback draw out of this formation. Ward going to the single side, incomplete, trying to find Allen, flag down. Chance Allen was matched up with Chauncey Lanier, the 5th-year senior from Davie, Florida.
Pass interference. Defense number 12. Flat foul. Automatic. First down.
I don't know why guys ever dance around and plea. And it's not like Canadian football where the coach can throw a flag and challenge the pass interference call. It is what it is. It's going to stand. Like basketball. You get a foul, it's a foul. They're going to change their mind.
So fresh set of downs.
Yeah, Bonner at the top, uncovered.
Ward back over the middle. That's complete for a first down to Stephen Dunbar. Houston trying to reclaim the lead, 16-yard completion.
Yeah, this is like most tempo offenses. They get a first down. They're going to press the gas a little bit. 2:56 left here in the ball game.
Nebraska and Iowa now underway on ESPN News. We'll get you there as soon as we finish here in Memphis. Again, it's Bonner. And Linnell Bonner fighting his way forward for Houston. Another first down for the Cougars.
Well, that's a great comparison Cole made to Anquan Bolden. Tough player. Watch him catch this one, coming on an end cut, breaking 1 tackle, immediately going to take a shot and still fighting for additional yards.
2.5 minutes ago, Houston down 4. Ward will take off with it straight up the middle, uses the official as a shield, and he's inside the 10. 1st and goal, Cougars.
Get in the end zone here, and you don't want to leave Memphis with a lot of time. Field goal will not do it. It's got to be a touchdown. You can see this Memphis defense getting a little winded. A lot of guys standing around with their hands on their hips.
They haven't been able to sub with Houston going no huddle. Duke Catalon inside the 5.
That seems to be the thing with this Memphis team. They're not really tackling. They're trying to strip the football, and by that, Catalon's falling forward for another 2 or 3 yards.
Ward looking patient. End zone. Caught. Touchdown, Houston! Chance Allen with the toe tap in the back of the end zone.
What a nice job. Just throw it high with Allen back in the back corner of the end zone and just see if he can make a play. If not, it's going out of bounds. You come back on the next down. But what a play by Chance Allen. And once again, Tom, we talked about this earlier.
Ruling on the field. It's a touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
These receivers are so good when things are off schedule. When Ward breaks the pocket and now they have to redirect, scramble drill. Everybody finds a spot, gets themselves open.
Wow.
He looks in from that angle, but barely. If you're just judging on that, I'm not sure there's enough to overturn it.
He did control the catch, took the ball all the way to the turf. Remember, it was ruled a touchdown on the field. They would need indisputable video evidence, and the official behind the pylon right on top of it.
Man, I mean, he is eyeballing it. This may be a little bit better. How about that? Good ballerina action right there.
On point.
That's touchdown. That's the best angle. That's in.
That is an amazing catch by Chance Allen. If it stands, it will be a second
After
touchdown.
review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And so with a minute and a half to go, Houston is in front for just the second time today.
And it's still plenty of time for a guy like Jake Elliott to send this baby to overtime. Get the field goal, or the extra point here, and all Memphis will need is a field goal to tie it and get it to overtime. 129 with 3 timeouts left.
Point after is good. A 7-play, 75-yard drive directed by Greg Ward Jr. Tom Herman has his team a minute 29 from escaping with the victory. Ward directing another comeback for the Cougs. Area of jewelry. Greg Ward with a remarkable second half. He's thrown for 489 yards total on the day with 4 touchdowns. From the 11. And out to the 26. With an update, let's get it to Stan Barrett.
Okay, guys, those of you tuning in to see Nebraska taking on Iowa, that game is underway. It's over on ESPN News. We'll take you to that game as soon as Houston and Memphis are done here on ABC. Tom, Andre, back to you.
All right, Stan, you know, it might be a while because Memphis has a kicker by the name of Jake Elliott who's hit 9 from 50-plus in his career, and he's looking for some redemption. He missed a field goal at the tail end of this same game last year as Houston was able to come from behind and knock off Memphis. The injured Tiger, Christian Slaughter, helped to his feet by the athletic training staff. And so Riley Ferguson and company won't have that far to go with a guy like Elliott, who's the all-time leading scorer in Memphis history. Past Stephen Gostkowski, he passed D'Angelo Williams. He's at 2 of 50-plus this season. And last year against USF, hit a school record 56-yarder.
But pushed one right with a chance to win it last year against this group.
Tony Pollard, a game breaker, is in the backfield with Riley Ferguson. Ferguson pulls it back, trying to run for it. Change of direction. Beautiful move with the vision from Ferguson, taken down by Adams after he shook Cameron Malvo, gain of 12.
You got Malvo thinking he was going to try to get to the sideline and then cut back inside on it.
1:10 and counting for Memphis. They have 3 timeouts. Here comes the blitz up the middle. Sideline route. Caught! First down and more! Phil Mayhew has Memphis in position on a 30-yard reception.
Yeah, the corner came up and tried to bump, missed Mayhew, left the safety vulnerable because he couldn't get from the hash over the top fast enough to help out.
Already within the range of Jake Elliott. A minute to go. Fade route, Miller, too strong, flag on the play. That'll give him 15. Brandon Wilson trying to cover Anthony Miller.
Pass interference. Defense number 26. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, both corners struggling a little bit. When Howard Wilson went out of the game, it put a lot of pressure on Jeremy Winchester, and then Brandon Wilson, who usually plays inside over the slot in their nickel situation, has now had to go back outside. And that's allowing Riley Ferguson to really challenge the two corners.
It's been a whirlwind 24 hours for Tom Herman. Why should it get any easier?
Here comes the blitz.
Dorland Dorcius to the 10. 50 seconds to go. Timeouts remain.
You run that draw play, it has to be timed just right. You can't hand it off too quickly. And then you want to get the pursuit up the field so that it pops itself. Very close to perfectly executing right there.
Lots of eyes in Baton Rouge and Austin on this game as well. Ferguson flushed. And he gets rid of it incomplete before he goes across the sideline. Nick Thurman and B.J. Singleton chasing him. 23 seconds left. 3rd and 5.
And still, they've done all this damage without having to spend a timeout. When you get into crunch time, where do you go? Keep an eye on number 3, Anthony Miller, who has done one heck of a job all day long in this ball game, along with Riley Ferguson, in terms of hooking up.
Dorcius vacates the backfield. Ferguson looks on the slant. Miller, yes! Touchdown Tigers! It's Anthony Miller again! Raise your hand if you love college football.
Aye. What a football game.
A walk-on who didn't see the field his first 2 years has pushed Memphis in front again. The key point after is good, and with 19 seconds to go, it's a 4-point Tiger lead.
And you're going to go safety with Garrett Davis, gives up inside position to the best receiver Memphis has. The result, Ferguson to Miller, touchdown.
ESPN, stick around for SportsCenter tonight. Kenny Mayne and Nicole Briscoe will have all the college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL highlights, NFL news, and maybe something about Tom Herman as well. Everything else from your post-Thanksgiving night. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. By that time, Texas and TCU will be finished. They're playing in Austin this afternoon, already underway.
Just try to kick this one out of the end zone. Put them on the 20 and force them to go the distance in 19 seconds. All 3 timeouts for Greg Ward and his Houston offense, but 80 yards stands between them.
Greg Ward, 46 of 64, 489 and 4 touchdowns. He's thrown for 274 and 3 touchdowns in the second half.
It's been magnificent. He's got to dial up a miracle right here. And where's Bonner?
Ward pressured. Escapes. Floats it. Oh, almost picked. Missed opportunity for Jonathan Cook. 11 seconds remain. He was trying to find Dunbar.
And if you're Major Applewhite, you want a decision made faster. 8 seconds to run off that clock. Too much time. You've got to have some quick hitters to get out of bounds. Something to happen where you pick up a first down. And then the clock will stop where you can clock the football. You can't have plays where you're running around killing the clock. There's Bonner.
Timeout taken by Memphis.
Prior to the snap, timeout. Memphis, they're first. 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 11 seconds.
All right, so 11 seconds left. What do you have time for if you're Houston?
Well, I'm thinking something along the sideline and then maybe even a flip, maybe a hook and lateral here, but something to where you either get yourself out of bounds, something around the first down marker quickly, where if it's caught, you can get yourself out of bounds quickly. But whatever happens needs to be quick for this offense.
Tom Hart alongside Heisman winner Andre Ware. Time for only one, or do you have time for two?
I think you have time for two, depending on the progress of the first one and how much time it certainly leaves you. But you're looking to work the sidelines at this point.
It's been a magnificent game. Memphis dominated early. Houston came back in the second half. And now 11 seconds left. Ward flushed. And it is incomplete. No flag. 4 seconds left. Mollett, the senior, had the coverage on Bonner.
And the playmakers are starting to step up for Memphis when you need them. Riley Ferguson with a touchdown pass. Anthony Miller on the receiving end. And then their best cover corner, Anthony Mollett, making plays at the end of the game.
Memphis will drop 5 defensive backs past midfield.
Arthur Mollett.
Houston going for a hook and ladder. Catalan pitches it back. This is Ward. Ward keeps it alive, but that's where the game will end. Memphis covers it up. It ends on a takeaway. Tom Herman, the story of college football the last 24 hours, but today, Mike Norvell gets the better of him. And what could be the last game as a Houston head coach ends in disappointment. But for Norvell, the youngest coach in the FBS, a signature victory here as Memphis goes to 8-4 and await their bowl fate.
What a job by both sidelines. Both teams of just playing some tremendous football.
Remarkable ability for Memphis to come back in this one in the fourth quarter. Cole Kubelik is standing by with Mike Norvell.
Coach Norvell, you get to 8 wins on the season, your first year as a Memphis head football coach. Just describe what this does to cap off season number 1.
It's all about these kids. We got an unbelievable group of young men that believed to the very end. We knew it'd be a 60-minute game, and we used every second of it. Great coaching staff. These guys are preparing them. We're excited about the future and where we're going.
What did you learn about these young men last game of the season, able to battle back, never showed any quit?
Oh, that's it. They've got heart. They've got character. We're continuing to build and where we're going. And the thing I've been most proud of about this football team is how they've responded. And I thought it was a first-class response today when some adversity struck.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Mike Norvell, first head coach in school history to take a team to bowl eligibility in his first season, and they cap it with a remarkable game here this afternoon against Houston. Tigers over the Cougars 48-44. After the break, we continue with number 16 Nebraska and Iowa from Iowa City. For Andre Ware, Cole Kubelik, our fantastic crew, I'm Tom Hart. So long from Memphis.